Part 1 when we're supposed to be part 3.
Yeah, this is actually part 2. Hello, everybody.
Yeah, this is part 3. Hello, everyone.
Ooh.
It's part 2.
So, everyone, I am going to start off with today with giving you a volume warning. And I will not tell you what that volume warning is, but I will tell you when we get to the scene.
You know for sure we're gonna get to that scene, right?
Yeah. Yes, we are.
Definitely gonna get to that scene.
In other words, there's a scene that's coming up in this chat that's gonna make you pop off like hell, huh?
Yes.
It'll hurt my ears if I don't get the warning.
Give it a heads up. Meaning this is either going to be completely awesome or totally and batshit insane, and given the context of both, I think it could go either way.
Alrighty then. Okay, let's get the shit
Can't
set up.
say it might not be both.
Let's get this fucking show on the road, boys!
We're 10 minutes behind schedule. Let's play some video games.
Because Discord...
When has it ever stopped us before, Orange?
Very true.
Oh,
This is good
fuck,
flan.
that reminds me. Guys, if you're ever on HBO Max, look up Jellystone.
I've heard it's very good.
The guy who made Chowder made that.
Oh, nice.
Yep. It's got the same sense of humor as Chowder.
Ooh,
and it stays really faithful to the Hanna-Barbera cartoons.
Yeah, he's really good at making cartoons.
Nice.
Okay, let's
Oh, that's just Yogi.
I am trying to locate something that I made
Yeah,
for that
Yogi
occasion,
Bear.
so I have it on hand.
Wait, is that it's actually a Yogi Bear cartoon?
Yes.
Oh,
It's a
alright.
lot of Hanna-Barbera.
Oh yeah, this is the shark guy.
Shark?
Yeah, and
Jabberjaw.
then the
You don't
guy.
remember Jabberjaw?
Jabberjaw?
And Top Cat.
I was born in
Jabberjaw is
19...
a shark from the future who solves mysteries with his Scooby-Doo light gang.
What?
And he talks like Curly.
Yeah.
And occasionally Rodney Dangerfield.
Hold on, I will back out quickly and rejoin real quick. Let me check something.
I tell ya.
It used to be
That is a very good Jabberjaw.
Boomerang.
I love Zoidberg.
No, Zoidberg is a lot more, Yiddish.
Better.
Crimson, that's the joke.
That's the joke. Alright,
That's
anyways.
the joke.
I'm going to start streaming Umineko to you guys. And now,
Everybody in the
everybody get
building?
in here. We're gonna do it.
Yay!
There he is. There's my son.
I'm making it funny.
Okay, everything is good. I have everything set up. We're
I'm
ready to
making
go.
the pasta.
Full circle.
What do you mean 6
Hey,
years
boo-boo.
ago? Hey, boo boo. I'm going to kill everyone with your show me your family.
God damn it. Oh, really quick, from our sponsors. This episode of Umineko no
You
Naka
never
Koro
discounted
is
the
brought to you by
Bears
Posh
theory.
Pants.
Sorry.
Holy shit, I did not think I was gonna kill Khan that quickly.
So I got all the streams up. I'm
New
ready to
record.
go. Let's do this shit.
God damn.
Get the
Hey,
cat.
everyone, it's critical. Let's hit this shit.
What do you
Hey,
mean
if
6
you're
years
Yogi,
ago?
then... No. Hey, if you're Yogi, then who's Boo Boo?
My
I guess
I
Josh
don't
is
know.
gonna be- Oh, no.
Wait, why am I
it'd be
Boo Boo?
AC. Because you're kind of like, I don't know, I think you've just been established as the number 2.
You're more like a straight man to
More of a
his funny
monotone
man.
voice, AC, for that one.
True, I am the
Wait,
funny
AC,
man.
wait. AC or
Wait, I
Josh?
thought Orange would be the straight man.
Yeah, Orange is
No,
definitely.
You are the straight man. Orange is the funny man.
Wait, what?
What did
I never
But
did.
I was the one that everyone joked about being bi.
I thought I was the funny man.
No.
I was gonna say, how would I be the straight
Johnny
man?
is Boo Boo and Orange is Yogi.
Oh, alright.
Anyways, I mean, I was still in elementary school back then, right? It's pretty unfair to expect me to remember everything, don't you think?
Huh. Oh, fuck. Let me pop it out, goddammit, no! True.
Okay, and Noir has admitted that he's Great Bait because he's the tall
Not
man?
now!
Especially
Alright.
because we were so young, we've grown a lot in these 6 years. If I hadn't been introduced, I might have even remembered you.
Really? I figured he was Battler right away. And when he opened his mouth, I was sure.
You good?
Oh. I just met him for the first time. Didn't know him 6 years ago.
That's right. Maria-sama was only 3 years old then.
Well, the same goes for me. I only knew Maria when she was 3 years old, and since she's grown so big, of course I wouldn't recognize her. After lunch, we'd all gone out to the beach to walk around, talk, and take it easy. My parents were apparently having a suspicious, complicated discussion, so we ended up leaving them behind. Well, just as I guessed from the start, the conversation focused on me, since I've been away for 6 years.
Still, you've gotten really tall. I wouldn't call myself short, but your height really surprised me.
That's right. I remember well what Battler-sama was like 6 years ago, but I was surprised even so.
Oh, fuck, sorry.
Yes,
you got it.
seriously. I can hardly believe this is the same Battler we knew back then.
I'm surprised how much everyone remembers about it. My memory's all hazy.
Yeah, I'll bet. Looks like it's taking you a while to remember us. You know, that hurts a bit.
Come on, this was 6 years ago, right? I'm the one who has it bad being forced to remember.
Are you saying you can't remember well because it was 6 years ago? I can remember it as clearly as if it happened yesterday.
Well, your memory's great after all. You remember the kind of things Battler did and said back then pretty clearly, don't you?
Come to think of it, that's right. Shannon's memory can be incredible when you least expect it.
Oh. I'm horrible at remembering. I remember fun things, but I can't remember boring things at all. Oh.
Y'all laughed. It's like that everyone was like that.
Shannon. By the way, what was Battler like 6 years ago? Remember any interesting episodes? Let's see. I'm sure he said something like this when he left. I'll be back. See you again. I'll surely come for you riding a white horse.
Yeah! Stop it! It's so embarrassing! Oh yeah, hey, so fun fact, when we were reading Higurashi, I stopped during episode 3 because I wanted to screen cap something. This is actually kind of a callback, because they mention Keiichi coming up for Rena on a white horse during episode 3 of Higurashi.
Yes, a white horse.
What's up with that fucking fantasy?
Wait, have you had that
It is
screenshot
a
since we got there?
I've had that
sort of
screenshot since we got there.
That was like a year ago.
Yep, it was created on December 17th, 2020.
Hey, that was my birthday.
Yeah. Incredibly delayed birthday, Robu. And also incredibly early, all things considered. Anyways.
Sounds like something you'd say. Yeah, I remember you always used to be full of those stupid lines, Battler.
It really does sound like something Ballycoon would have said back then.
Huh? Embarrassing? Is that embarrassing?
Yeah. Horribly
Oh, God,
embarrassing.
I'm crying from this.
Maria, I'm sure that when you were in middle school, you wanted to say it. You'll want to say embarrassing stuff like that. When that happens, make sure you write it down and read it 3 times before saying it out loud. If you don't,
Oh God, I wish
you'll
I knew that
definitely
in
regret it.
Saved me some major embarrassment.
Still, everyone has to pass through that pitiful period. That's right. That's when you learn your place, learn shame, and become an adult. Yeah, it's one of those bittersweet things everyone does in adolescence, and they transition to becoming adults. Memory you just want to forget. Ah! After all, this is all stuff I'd let slip out without thinking. I didn't remember the words exactly. But now all those words were being recited to me. They were as embarrassing as hell! I only recently came to understand this weakness, and was working hard to avoid such careless outbursts, but I guess I was just born with a habit of speaking without thinking, and there's nothing I can do about it.
Now I'm feeling called out here. Shannon! Do you remember any other embarrassing stuff? Yes. Well, I remember a few other things, but since it looks like the person in question wants to forget then, I think I'll refrain from saying more. Boo!
To be brutally honest, I don't remember this at all. Please make me remember.
Huh? Shannon's bullying Battler? You can't. You shouldn't bully people.
She isn't really bullying him. Well, let's leave it at that, okay? Shannon, you'll have to tell me all about it sometime when Battler isn't around. Sounds pretty interesting.
Yes, certainly.
No, you can't! Shannon Chan! For a while, George Anarchy laughed at me, as though warming up for when Shannon Chan would tell him about more of my embarrassing misspeaks. George looked like he was flirting with Shannon, but it seemed somewhat open and frank about it. He was always that with his cousins, but he usually took on a reserved, gentlemanly attitude when he came in contact with the servants. When I thought about it, I got the feeling he was being a bit overly friendly, which seemed strange. Maria started scribbling in the sand with a stick, and George Anarchy and Shan joined in. This left me and Jessica off to the side, so I asked her secretively. Hey, Jessica, is George Anarchy going out with Shan Chan?
Oh? What the? How'd you guess? It's not blatantly obvious or anything, is it? I mean, when the nuance of the situation is, Battler, you've got a keener eye for people than I thought.
What? I was just kidding. Yeah, but they're actually going out?
Shut up! Your voice is too loud! Looks like they're keeping it secret for now, okay? It'd be better if nobody, and I mean nobody, found out about it, especially Aunt Ava.
I see. Love with the servant, huh? Yeah, but since when? Whew. I guess a lot can happen in 6 years. But yeah, Anaki's an amazing person, and Shan seems to be kind and brave. So they might make a pretty good match. Actually, 6 years ago. I remember taking notice of her just a little bit. I see. She fits really well with George Anaki's Nothing I Can Do. She fits really well with George Anaki. Nothing I can do about that. Goodbye, my fleeting first love of 6 years ago. Means that collection of embarrassing lines Shin-chan just held back on. Probably something to do with that. Ah, I can't take it! How long have they been going out?
That depends on what you call going out, but I think it's been at least a year. But if you count the time they both had one-sided feelings, it'd probably be several years.
But I realized that the two of them had separated themselves from the group and were walking down the beach, talking about something. It looked calm. Rather than a light relationship between two lovers, it looked like a more serious one. So they were already engaged. 6 years ago, huh? That's a long time. What do those 6 years mean to me? I've just gotten taller. Just a waste of time. 6 years I spent obstinately fighting with my dad.
What about you, Battler? You got a girlfriend?
I wonder. There's a few girls that I have fun with. There's no only one.
So
I guess
you're
I'm
a
just
player?
a kid. I think it's more fun to be nosy with a large group of people than being alone with one person. Noisy,
That's so you, Battler. But take your relationships with your female friends seriously. When girls get wrong impressions or form a group, it can be scary, you know. That is also true to real life. Fuck with one girl in a group of her friends and you will feel their wrath. They might be having secret feuds over you behind your back, with people getting hurt or crying.
Oh. That was part of the same thing. That's so weird. I remember getting the same bit of advice from one of the girls in my class just last week. What's this all about? Why can't everyone just have fun together? You really want to couple up that much?
It's probably because you've never found a partner like that, Battler. Well, you might run into someone sooner or later. You've just gotta wait patiently. I mean, maybe she's wearing a velvet dress and has blonde hair.
What? It almost sounds like you already found a partner like that. What about you? Have you gotten a boyfriend?
Huh? Me? No! What?
He's a twink, isn't he? Come on, the reaction's so easy to understand. The looks of it, there's some boy you're thinking about, but you haven't been able to confess to him yet. Something like that.
Fuck you. No, that's not, shut up, who cares about that anyway?
If you want to brought up the subject, why are you yelling at me now?
Fuck you.
Women are creatures who always ask questions and almost never answer them. But girl creatures, seriously. Red.
Well, I did try to confess once. Well, I struck out pretty badly.
Did you get an I'm sorry?
No,
He called himself a duck?
Well, my feelings were seriously one-sided, and they didn't really know how to respond, I guess. It was like they didn't view me that way at all.
Well, I can understand that. Talk like a man, after all. He's not like a bit more graceful, he won't be able to catch a boy's interest.
Is it really? Is the way I speak really that bad?
Well, how you talk isn't everything. From people like you who usually have a rough style of speech. Oh, fuck. No! Suddenly start working hard to talk more normally. Well, there are guys out there whose heart will skip a beat when they see how determined you are.
Is that really true? I see. Yeah.
Jessica suddenly started talking more meekly, and then her face instantly went slightly red. I see. Even though her confession didn't go well, it looks like she hasn't given up. Still, I get it. After seeing how close George Anaki and Shan-chan have begun, I also kind of want to find a girlfriend. 6 years. 6 years of puberty are pretty important, and they went by pretty fast. As the typhoon approached, the clouds grew steadily grayer. But even so, I had this really refreshing feeling. Maybe I'll try thinking some more seriously about the opposite sex, more than just the size of their boobs. By the way, looks like George Anaki's going out with a servant. Don't tell me it's the same for you.
What? Why do you think that?
Come to think of it, that kid Cannon-kun who greeted us in the Rose Garden. You were covering for him pretty intensely, considering he's just a little awkward at talking.
No, that's not... Now you're getting paranoid.
And tell me just one thing, right now. Is the boy you're after within 1 kilometer of this spot?
Well, about that, I wonder...
Cannon-kun was the only boy on this island who could possibly become her boyfriend. So, judging by her reaction, I was right on. I didn't think of the Ashuremia family as a noble family, but love with a servant. I wouldn't have dreamed the 2 pairs of Romeo and Juliet would be right next to me. Ane would probably become an obstacle to George Anaki and Shan-Shan's love. If Ane ever learned about Shan-Shan with the partner of her only beloved son, she'd probably scream at her for trying to steal away her precious George. And the relationship between Jessica and Cannon-kun would probably be just as full of difficulties. And Natsuhi was also pretty strict about that kind of thing. After all, Jessica's husband would probably become the head of the Ashuremia family in the future. That person had once been a servant working for the family. Well, things would get pretty complicated. Well, love is different for every person. As long as you're with someone who's fun to be around, does anything else really matter? When two people pair up, they don't need anyone's permission, as long as they accept each other. Worrying about what your parents or family will say means you've already lost. Don't forget that. You better not go out with someone with mixed feelings.
Ugh. I can't believe you're saying something so philosophical sounding when you haven't even been in love.
Don't treat me like don't treat love like a matter of profit and loss. It's about heart. That's all I have to say. Well then, see you again. Have a nice day.
Oh, George Nissan! Shannon! Listen! This guy! He said another one of those dumbass lines!
I didn't say anything! Don't make fun of me! Don't make fun of me!
Oh, I heard it! See you again!
For a while we forgot that the winds were getting stronger and played around on the beach. I grew up a lot these past 6 years. Being able to celebrate my youth and meet with all of my cousins was truly refreshing. It was a bit late now, but I realized that I should have gotten back together with everyone a lot sooner and returned to the Ashuremia family. Sure is nice to have all the cousins together every once in a while.
I like it too. It's really fun when all the cousins get together. Oh, pardon me, sorry. Orange.
Oh yeah, that's right. We're already old enough. Like we couldn't meet each other when our parents aren't around. It might not be a bad idea to gather the cousins together and play every once in a while.
That's a good plan. Maybe we should set something up like that next time when we get the chance.
Yeah, I agree. I hope we cousins can stay friends forever.
Hey, you make such a big deal about it. You're almost like make it sound like your relatives usually end up hating each other. Hey, sir. Jordaniki and Jessica laughed, but it felt just a little strained. Did I say something wrong? Judging by how our parents made quiet expressions and tired faces every once in a while during the boat ride in the airport, maybe I should have kept that to myself. Yeah, you're right. Just like Jessica said, let's always be friends to each other.
Me too. We're all friends.
That's right. Yeah. We'll always be together. We'll always be friends.
Man, we've been saying some pretty embarrassing stuff. I feel kind of awkward.
But,
But I think it's very important. People are creatures who find it very hard to stay together, much less remain friends until they truly desire.
That's right. You really can't take everyone being friendly for granted.
A witch I know said it. Happiness won't be granted unless everyone believes in it.
That's true. There is some magic exists in the power of belief. If we all believe in that, then I'm sure it'll bring us happiness.
Alright. Well, if we're doing some embarrassing stuff already, let's all swear to believe in this together, okay? That we'll all always be friendly. That we'll all always be happy.
like hell we'll end up like our parents. If we'd ever search for each other's weaknesses, going after grandfather's fortune. Okay! We'll always be friendly and happy. Let's all believe in that. No matter how much we cousins try to nostalgically have fun, dark clouds continue to reproach Rokenjima. I wonder if the typhoon will pass and let us see clear skies before we leave the island. Who cares about our parents or what our parents are planning? Who cares about the inheritance and the honor of our old family? As youthful as we are renewing our old friendships. And we all believed together that we could find happiness. So, I want this pair of days to end, without anything weird happening, in peace and happiness. Calmly. No, I don't just want them to end. Please let them end!
In your dreams.
Damn it! Don't show up! Don't appear! Damn it, damn it, damn it!
Sorry to keep you waiting. I finally prepared a new game. Come, let us begin this tale of tragedy. Come to me, winds, rain, typhoon! Cut this island off from the real world! Throw Rokenjima into another realm, into the spirit world, into a world of fantasy!
And so the tale repeated for a third time. However, to an endless witch. What did it matter whether it was the first, second, or third time? It probably didn't matter at all. After all, this was a tale of fantasy, endlessly repeating until the match had settled. Would battlers surrender first, or would the witch? The sky grew dark and cloudy, and the rain and wind were summoned together and became a typhoon. Maria could be seen in the rose garden, paying no mind to the rain that had started falling, going round in circles, searching for that single rose that should have been marked.
not here! No, not here! My rose! My mark! Isn't here!
Maria definitely remembered it. The rose had been in the flower bed right here, yet it wasn't anymore. She didn't know what to do with her irritation at not being able to find something that should have been there. And, moaning bitterly, she couldn't help but keep going back and forth in circles around the same spot. She was acting almost as though she'd been able to see it if she looked at a different angle. But even though she did that, there was no way to find something that wasn't there. The wind grew increasingly strong, and the rain turned into cold, large drops. There's no way even Marie would fail to notice this. However, she couldn't find her rose here, it would surely disappear forever. Maria believed that. That feeling spurred her on to keep searching for a rose that she had no chance of finding. Just then, the cold drops of rain tormenting Maria were suddenly blocked. Maria raised her head. When she did, she saw an umbrella there, protecting her from the rain. And the one holding out the umbrella was the witch she admired, Beatrice.
Sorry. Beatrice!
What are you doing here so frantically in the middle of all this rain? You could catch a cold like this. Even witches have to care for their own health.
I can't find my rose. No matter how many times I search, even though it should have been here, I can't find it.
Maria told Beatrice about how there had been a slightly unhealthy and pitiful rose, and that she was sure that they had marked it.
Oh, so you can't find it. If you are a witch's apprentice, you should use magic to search for the rose. I believe that searching with just your eyes won't be nearly enough.
I can't find it. I did my best and tried to search with magic, but I can't find it.
I think practicing your magic is a very good thing, but it might be a little too much for you with all this wind and rain. Allow me to lend you some special power. Concern for one's disciples is also one of a teacher's duties.
Thank you. Beatrice?
Maria's face, which had been full of sadness until just now, split open into a grin. Maria knew. She was nothing that Beatrice's magic couldn't do. She was sure that Beatrice would be able to find the rose easily, even though Maria couldn't. Beatrice closed her eyes lightly, acting as though she was listening for something in the wind and rain. Then she heard it, opened her eyes, and spoke.
All things in this world are transitory. Too bad, Maria. It seems your rose couldn't withstand all of this wind and rain.
Oh. Then my rose.
It was uprooted by the wind, and is no longer of this world.
What Beatrice had said was quite reasonable. Nothing odd about the flower being broken off at the stem in this strong wind. However, Maria couldn't keep this and bitterly gave a low-pitched moan.
No.
Oh?
No, no, no! It's my rose! My rose won't come back! No! No. Bring it back to life with my magic! Beatrice, teach me how to revive a rose with magic!
Ha! It's much too early for an apprentice like you to learn the hidden art of endless magic. Know your place.
Maria wiped the tears from her eyes, full of regret. Beatrice shrugged her shoulders and chuckled at Maria's pitiable expression.
Very well. I will lend you my power, the hidden art that can revive a rose.
Really?
Indeed. Well then, concentrate the power of your heart.
Con, you are cutting out super duper hard right now.
Sorry. Close your eyes. Forget the rain. Forget the wind. And search for the soul of the wandering rose with the eyes of your heart. Was I in that time?
You're good, yeah.
Very good.
Thank you.
Maria closed her eyes. Then she repeated Beatrice's song-like words.
Come, try to remember. Rose, what form did you have?
Come, try to remember. Rose, what form did you have?
Don't look. Don't listen. And believe. Release the power of your soul from the cage of flesh that imprisons it. That's it. Good.
Around Maria, who is concentrating her power, her eyes tightly shut, small golden butterflies began to dance. This is the manifestation of the magical power Maria held.
Lost soul of the rose. Gather into one and remember your form. Come, gather, remember.
Then Beatrice raised a finger up to the skies. Glistens of the gold butterflies began to strengthen. The numbers increased. Then Beatrice raised the finger up to the skies, and they began to gather the tip of that finger. This is the miracle of golden magic. The gold butterflies began to condense to a single dazzling grain of gold. It was a single glittering gold seed. It ran on top of Beatrice's finger, budded into a golden sprout, and opened into a golden leaf. It then slowly fell from that fingertip, sank into the mud of the flower bed, and began to grow steadily. Maria, who admired magic and the witch, really wanted to see that fantastical sight. However, as an apprentice, Maria was still not qualified to see it. No. Probably afraid that, if she opened her eyes to look, the power that she had concentrated in her heart would be cut off, and the magic would be lost. Therefore, Beatrice, as the only one permitted to witness this golden miracle, was the only witch, the sole master of many miracles. And then a fully grown rose bloomed, creating one golden flower. And when Beatrice poked it with her finger in just the right way, the gold-colored sparkles scattered, just as if a golden soap bubble had popped. What remained was a single beautiful rose.
Sorry, my mom came in and dropped off some stuff that she wanted me to help her out with.
It looks like you remember this splendid rose. However, if we just leave it mixed in with these other roses, you won't be able to tell it apart. Shall I perform one last service?
Beatrice, for the sake of her cute apprentice, who is moaning even more now in concentration, I'd use one more bit of magic. When she snapped her fingers, a single golden butterfly appeared, fluttered around and landed on the flower that had just been revived. It suddenly burst open and disappeared, becoming a golden lance and marking the rose. Lace.
That will do. Maria, you may open your eyes now.
Where's the rose? It's not here. Not here.
Not over there, over here. Look. I marked it with golden lace.
You did! Awesome, 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 awesome! Arigato, Bito! Thank you, Bito! I want to become a great witch quickly! A witch like you!
That voice hard on you.
No, it's just I've been kind of coughing with the allergy problem today. I'm fine though. Trust me.
Okay.
And you can. Long ago, I too wished for that innocently, just as you do, and I have attained that level.
Mira was ecstatic over the revived rose, clapping her hands and jumping around in joy. Watching that, Beatrice also smiled, looking fairly pleased. By now I can oh, that's you. Beatrice, go.
I know I can break apart and repair any soul if I try, not just that of a rose, and kill and revive as I pleased. Come. The barrier of the storm has now sealed Rakenjima off from the natural world. Now is the time for the Golden Witch Beatrice to descend as an endless witch.
Beatrice pulled from her pocket an envelope with the family crest, the one-winged eagle, and gave it to Maria. Maria frolicked around it, being selected to be the witch's messenger.
So, Kinzo, I've come to join in on your fun once more. My preparations are already complete. What of you? Have you prepared enough coins to bet in tonight's game?
Okay, so around here, everyone might want to turn me down.
Anyways. Of course I'm fully prepared, Beatrice! I've assembled a plethora of pieces. I'm ready, both physically and mentally. So then, let us make the ante. All that you have given should be returned to you in the end. Come, take it! Kinzo flung the window of his study open wide, took off the valuable golden ring that had been on his finger, and threw it into the darkness of the raging wind and rain. The ring was struck by lightning, and after twinkling gold for an instant, it disappeared. Kinzo watched it go, grinning broadly and fearlessly. I don't think I'll lose. You are mine forever! The ring that Kinzo had thrown became a single golden butterfly and floated around in the wind and rain. Headed for the rose garden, almost as though it was being guided there. It then found the figure of the golden witch and fluttered down. When it came down right in front of Beatrice, it burst open and returned to its original form, flying through the air. The way it was going, you would have expected it to fall into a puddle, but it stopped suddenly in midair, almost as if some transparent person had caught it. Apparently, even Beatrice hadn't expected this. However, she realized who it was, and grinned at it broadly.
Let's go!
Dude! So Takahata 101 is in this?
This is Joshi's actual favorite character.
Well, no, this is my also favorite character. I love them both! Let's go!
What butler-looking motherfucker?
As she did, the shadow of a person who had caught the ring began to fuzzily appear. It was the figure of a young man wearing a butler's uniform embroidered with a one-winged eagle crest. There was no man like this among the servants in the Ashuramiya family. Even so, Beatrice laughed as though it was someone she remembered fondly.
Ronov. It is Ronov, right?
Ronove.
Ronove, is it? It's been quite some time. It seems you have remembered me. You were always a man who took loyalty seriously.
It has been some time you last corresponded.
It has been quite some time.
To the single day that I, Ronove, have forgotten that I serve you, milady. I was more afraid that you would have forgotten about me. After all, you can be quite forgetful.
Yeah, I see, yes. I certainly am forgetful. I'd forgotten even your sarcasm until I heard it again.
Milady, take this.
With an exaggerated, elegant gesture, he bowed respectfully, held up Beatrice the head's ring that he just caught.
It is the Ashuramiya family's head's ring. Returned to you from Ashuramiya Kinzo. It is now, once again, in the position of its master.
Indeed. This is Kinzo announcing the start of the game. Of course I'll accept it.
So, how shall we play tonight? Shall I prepare the roulette immediately? Or shall I prepare some black teeth?
I can't decide which, but first I need you to greet someone. I'm sure that guy's got his mouth hanging open and can't shut it. Right, battler.
Greetings. Allow me to introduce myself. I am called Ronove, and I serve at the side of Milady Beatrice.
Here, I guess we can.
For a second, that you're trying to sound like a
wow!
Castlevania
Holy shit!
character.
They updated the fuck out of this thing.
Oh yeah, that's.
In the
Yeah,
original,
Same fucking pose.
in the original, it was just they were all just like
It was
one
random.
consecutive. Yeah, it was
like,
random.
Good luck.
Fucking
They were
holy
like, good
shit!
luck to everybody.
Also,
You're
as you
just,
can
like,
see,
trying to
we
get to
now
your
have
sister.
we have the human side and the witch's side.
Wait, what is the goat man called?
Just go.
Goat.
I believe.
Goats.
Oh, just goat.
Goat.
It's just called Goat.
Oh, that's such a fucking
GOA.
downgrade. In the regular version of this game, when you switch sides, it did the fucking warping.
It would do like
effect.
the glass crack and then warp.
Oh yeah, the glass crack in the war. Oh,
The
did you say
PS2
for
pets
Runaway?
Oh yeah, so here, hold on a second. One of the 72 great demons serves a master in exchange for various forms of compensation. Presently, he has a contract with Beatrice as her butler, head furniture. Has multiple underlings trained in housekeeping, and he himself is extremely capable as a butler. Employing him has become a kind of status in high society for witches. Furthermore, the cookies he bakes are superb, and witches will often like to demand them. Should possess enormous magical power, but as he always shows deference to his master, his power level is an unknown quantity.
Simply putting, he is one hell of a butler.
Yeah. Fun
God
fact.
damn it.
Also
I
playable,
had to do it, okay? That was practically gift wrap for me.
also playable in the fighting game.
Unfortunately, in the version that's released in Steam, he's super bottom tier.
Hey,
Unless
I
you
quickly
decide
see
to add
the
it.
bio of the goat man. I'm curious
sure.
what that says.
The goats. Low-level furniture who wait on Beatrice. They are many in number but have no individuality and rarely speak. They faithfully obey their master's orders, closer in sensibility to animals than humans. They are surprisingly stupid and occasionally get their orders wrong. By nature, they have huge bodies like minotaurs and possess incredible superhuman strength.
This is also the only one that actually shows them with huge bodies, isn't it?
Yep.
Yes.
They're a low level as furniture, but the ability to summon them inexhaustibly is extremely useful.
Have we seen the stakes bio?
For the record, the actual way they actually have completely fucking different bios. Holy shit!
Oh fucking Christ! That's a bit much to go through. We'll go over them.
Yeah,
You never realized?
we aren't doing
Yeah,
all
go
these.
over.
You don't have to, but I'm more so questioning. Did you not realize that they had different ones?
No, I just assumed they were like slightly
Here
different.
is
God damn
here
it,
is
Orange.
760.
I knew they had different. I knew they had different bios in the RGB selection, dude.
All I'm
to
seeing
be
here is
honest.
7 different images of the same fucking face with different hair.
Hey,
The
come
bios
on.
are different.
How could you?
They're sisters.
Yeah,
And presumably septuplets.
yeah.
I assume that they're different
Okay,
people.
that may excuse it for right now. But
I guess
give
the
me 5
twin
minutes, I'll come up with
sisters
a
are
valid
one and the
complaint.
same.
Anyway, we can go through them later.
It is truly a pleasure to meet you.
See? His mouth's hanging open and he can't shut it right.
Yeah, no shit! Another incomprehensible guy just showed up! First I grumbled about goat-headed people doing the Bond dance, and then goat-heads start showing up in swarms. And since then, not only have those 7 ass Nissans appeared, but now there's even a butler! Doesn't make any sense! Cut it out!
By the way, Battler, did you notice? Did you realize that meeting him is a true devil's proof?
A devil's proof? What do you mean?
He may not look it, but this guy's one of the 72, a genuine demon. In other words, I brought a demon right in front of you, which truly proves that they exist. I love my job. Runaway holds a noble rank in hell, the 27th highest ranked great demon. He's a pretty useful man. I summoned him at high cost, and made him serve me.
It is an honor to meet you. Well, my name is amongst the highest, amongst those of the nobles of hell. And I'll serve as the head furniture of Beatrice Summer, who despite being a vulgar...
Oh, sorry.
How vulgar, Orange.
Being a vulgar human, is a great witch of witcher caliber that even demons would fear before her.
Flee before
Flee.
her.
You good, Chief?
Notes.
1 sec.
Chief, you good?
Like one of my Japanese animes.
No,
Like one of my Japanese animes.
I was looking at profile pictures.
No, Snake! You should be on this raft! You're cringe!
He's a very useful man, but he's impudent with his words. Frustratingly enough, he sometimes forgets to respect his master.
Nothing in my contract specifies the manner in which I must speak.
Do tell.
Would you like to change that contract?
It keeps me entertained, so it's fine. Same with the little porn stash you keep above, pencil stash of porn you keep above your nose.
That's a lot coming from Miss Euphoria.
Oh,
well,
no! Beatrice turned her back to him, cackling. After bowing once on her to her back, Ronove turned back to Battler and stuck out his right hand, showing off an innocent smile. Normally this would mean that he was asking for a handshake. What is this supposed to be?
I am another who has been subjected to Milady's whim. And that's something. I am sure we could become good friends. This is a handshake of friendship. Of course, this in no way implies you've entered into a demon's contract. So fear not.
Sorry, but I'm right in the middle of a big fight with your master. I only shake hands with an enemy after we've beaten each other up in a rainy schoolyard and all worn out or something like you see in a teen drama. Remember that.
I see. To shake hands with you, Battler-sama, I must create a fitting atmosphere in a suitable location. Exchange sweet words and physical language with you that rings true from your heart. When the opportunity arrives, I shall arrange for such an encounter. I must say, I simply love situations like that myself.
Whenever he laughed tauntingly, he whispered to Battler, bringing his face so close that their noses were almost touching. Battler, his face then turning red after getting so close to another of the same sex, pushed him away.
We are now the most shipped couple in Umineko.
Gay.
I ship it.
Oh god.
I fucking ship it.
Do we need to pull out the art?
I'm getting it. I might need to...
No, you already brought it up.
Do it, please.
No.
You didn't have to tell him that it was real.
You up the fighting game?
You know what? No, we tell them it's real, and we don't show them, and we let them suffer.
I know where it is. I'll go get it myself. Y'all ain't stopping nothing.
Well, okay, hold on a second. Alright, well, number one, it has to be one without the fucking text on it. Alright, here, fine, whatever. So, there's an ending in the fighting game where Battler and Ronove are doing stuff, and it ends... I can't explain what they're doing, but it ends in, this.
That's pretty good.
Oh
man, Battler doesn't want it, just like how Leon does not want that Claire butt. He does not want those abs.
You know what's funny is that in a spin-off manga, I won't describe the subject of Ronove x Battler comes up.
There's some other curse things that come up in that regard. We don't talk about it.
I do have an edited image where I do crop out some stuff that you can see some shit.
Look how much Battler does not want it. Ronove just wants the bond, and Battler just, nah.
Hey man, he's a demon. If he doesn't want it, he'll make him want it.
I don't think he will.
God, that sounded bad.
I
immediately take back what I said. Oh god.
So going even further beyond.
I have this image that I've cropped very specifically, and there's nothing in it, and this is also from the fighting game.
I do not.
I know which ending that. I know which ending that.
We also have George and Ronove posing and being sexy, and I would be remiss to point out that he has dog tags on, like one Jiro Tomitake.
No, I was about to say, from this angle, Ronove looks like James from Pokemon with a fucking mustache on.
You like the mustache,
Make it double head ass.
Yeah, Ronave's great. Ronave's really, really good. Alright, detour aside.
Oh my god, I love this too much.
You're a creepy bastard. I see. Just right for Beato's butler.
It is an honor to receive such words of praise. I'm very confident in my tea brewing abilities, so please look forward to tea time. Baking cookies is one of my hobbies, so please feel free to request any snacks you may desire.
Oh, wait, was there another text image there, or...?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Just what I'd expect from a pair of the same gender.
What?
You started getting along well right off the bat. I'm jealous. And I ship it. 100%.
Why am I? I apologize for making you jealous, milady.
I am become Beatrice!
I shall not sneakily snatch your guest away from you. Well then, I will leave you for now to retake my post as head furniture and greet my subordinates. Please forgive my short absence.
Indeed. Only the common goats and the seven sisters used for the ceremony have manifested themselves. You will be able to finish greeting them in no time.
Oh? Those lively seven sisters are here. I wonder if those naughty girls have grown a little more graceful.
Hehehe. Yeah, that's graceful. I have to doubt the definition of the word graceful.
Is that so? Then I suppose you've already had the opportunity to play with those sisters. Judging by your expression, it would seem they're just as nasty as ever.
Naughty.
Naughty. Even though I am always telling them to act more fitting as a servant of Beatrice-sama. What troublesome kids.
If that's your problem, don't worry. They actually act perfectly fitting for their master.
Now even you have begun to say it. However, a conversation means that you accept your partner. The fact that you started to respond to my idle chatting proves that you are gradually starting to accept my existence.
Heh, that's because even if the sun starts rising from the west, I will definitely, absolutely never accept that you're a witch. You might want to try a more positive approach, like crying and kissing my shoes. Even if Balor was bluffing, he still spoke forcefully. A fearless expression on his face. The witch and her butler snickered together, realizing that their guests had regained more than enough of his willpower to attend to a new game. And that preparations were complete. As Renove exchanged a few words with Beatrice, he bowed silently to Battler, scattered into several golden butterflies, and disappeared.
It is truly pleasing to have such a boisterous atmosphere. How boring were the days when I was trapped alone on this island, unable to regain my power and lacking anyone to talk to.
I get how the unpleasant guy is really fitting as your butler. But tell me, why has that butler only appeared now? He said something about how only the goats and the Nichans of the Seven States have manifested themselves.
The way you say Nechan bothers me a lot, and I hate that it bothers me.
Those ass Nichans.
Nechan.
Not Ni.
You're calling them brothers.
No, isn't that Nesan?
Nechan can... Ni is brother.
If I may,
brother, Ne
is sister.
Yeah, those ass brothers, man. Those guys suck.
Hey, Khan, you go.
If I may, Oni-san is brother. One-san is sister.
Okay.
It's all knee flexion. It's not weaving if I've actually got a minor in it from a bachelor's degree.
I mean, I have a minor in psychology. It doesn't mean I'm
You're
a
still a weeb, Con.
Oh yeah,
Orange has
tell
a
me.
battler's degree.
Oh really? Tell me, how does that make you feel?
God damn it.
Sorry.
Indeed. You still resist, but I am a fully fledged witch. And a fully fledged bitch.
Romulus, for the love of God!
Oh man, Romulus and Remus, they're finally getting the war going
that
on.
dog sounded fucking pissed.
What's Rome gonna be named?
Open up the fucking pit.
Can I point something out about the sprite comparison that I uploaded of Renovate? Is that the fucking Steam sprite looks fucking awful.
The Steam sprites look bad in a general sense. I don't know what.
Dang it! Every time
Especially for Renovate, it looks like he has a fucking horse face in fucking Steam sprite. I don't know what they did to my boy.
I have to ask, I'm not the only one that did not like the mustache, right?
How dare you?
Yeah, no,
It's
the
a beautiful
mustache in and of itself is cursed. Honestly, I don't mind it. I don't mind the mustache so much
Mustache
in the
makes him
original
look like
art.
Hearts,
but,
Box, Cars.
I am in contact with several non-human entities in the spirit world.
I'll bet. No sane person would hang out with you. First some goat monsters, then those ass Nichons, and this time, a demon butler showed up. I had to think about it, but the way things are going, I wouldn't be surprised if even more weird people appeared.
Oh, aren't you cute? Among the furniture that work at my great golden mansion, how many demons do you think want to come over and play? They will keep coming. Many of them will appear. When the door to the Golden Land is opened, I will call back all of my furniture and build my new castle here on Rokkenjima. Then I plan to invite all of my old friends, and we will drink and dance together for 3 days and 3 nights. Of course, I also plan to invite Kinzo's family, you see. You too, if
So, this is what you mean? You lost your power for a long time, you couldn't summon them? And then, since your magic power has been gradually increasing, you became able to summon more and more monsters?
It is as you say. You stopped a hair's breadth before crumbling. But your heart is already wavering, and you are unable to deny that I am a witch. That wavering in your heart has been slowly restoring my power as a witch.
So you're trying to say that creepy butler appeared? They started to surrender?
That's right. Bit by bit, you are surrendering to me. Isn't all that humiliation you suffered in the last game a result of you submitting to me so deeply? Wasn't it great when you had to sacrifice your back for the sake of my feet?
Damn it! I just thought I'd be able to keep things as they were, as long as I didn't accept you. Looks like that was wrong.
Correct. The closer you get to surrendering, the more the game will swing in my favor. Keep that in mind. Isn't chess the same? In the process of cornering each other's kings, we trade several pieces. Of course, I still haven't cornered your king. And furthermore, you're giving it everything you've got just to help your king escape. and have lost several pieces to me, as well as a large advantage. It is only natural that further developments will tend to turn it in my favor.
Damn!
From now on, you'll probably be frantic as you try to avoid my checkmate. However, as you do, I will steal your pieces from you one by one. In the end, you'll have lost everything but your king, and you won't be able to escape, no matter how much you try. Then you will receive a true checkmate. You were talking big last time, weren't you? Something about how you'd never accept me and would torment me with eternal torture. Only witches who have reached the endless level can talk about eternity. That's been beyond you ever since the very beginning.
Ooh, I get way too into that.
Good.
Give me a sec, I need to finish up some notes here.
Okay.
Hopefully everyone turned me down just before
I did. I'm glad I did. Thank you for the warning.
I didn't. I actually like hearing you pop off. It's hilarious and awesome.
Do you like having your ears bleed?
I mean, I always have one of my I always have one of my headphones off. So what I did was I just took the other one off, so I didn't have to hear him yell.
I was very much caught off guard because I wasn't looking at the computer and had my headphones in still. Looked like I
I
had
mean,
my
to be
head turned
fair,
away.
I
and
listen
like,
to my own voice
boom.
watching these VODs, so my ears are already bleeding.
Wait, Con, you use
Aw.
speakers, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I have headphones. That would have been a scream directly into my ears.
Everyone's like, wait.
When Runabe was coming out. Wait!
Listen, I like being excited.
Wait. No. Wait.
Okay.
Okay.
It's okay, take
Oh, there goes the back.
your time. Okay, take your time. Hem.
Sorry, throat's not wanting to cooperate.
It's okay, no big deal.
The hair and dust kicking
Is there a
everybody's
reason you
ass.
became Kermit?
I just feel like it sometimes, you know?
Now you have to read the now you have to read the narration in that
You can't
voice
do it with
for
a
the
straight
rest
face.
of Umineko.
God damn it.
It's like Kermit saying bitches ain't shit.
Hello everybody, it's me, the narrator! Everybody died! Yay! Personally, I'm making piss.
Hey, how do frogs pee? Anyway.
I imagine through the frog penis.
Oh yeah, we frogs have massive cocks, it's hilarious.
Actually,
Yum
they don't-
is stored in the balls, actually.
actually, they don't have penises.
My cock is stored in my penis.
More you know.
No, actually,
My
they don't have no cock.
Your cock is stored in your penis.
I mean, yeah, that's how foreskins work.
God, you people don't know about frog biology.
You see, we
We don't
don't
get
just have foreskin, we have 8 skin.
All I have to say is I would very much like to fight the kindergarten teachers who fucking let me kiss a frog because I thought I was going to turn into a prince back in the day.
Wait. It's fourth? Wait. Hold up a second. It's foreskin? I always thought it was fourth skin.
Oh, it's
No, it's F-O-R-E.
Yeah,
Oh
because
my god.
It's like
It's
when
like
you say
golf.
it,
You
yeah,
get
it's like golf.
skin.
Before.
F-O-R-E.
The skin.
Yeah, because it goes back and forth.
Yeah,
No.
if it gets long enough, you can use it as a golf club.
No, it's like forearm.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's how they killed Joel.
I kind of tune out a bit. Why? How did we get on the subject of foreskin penis?
Just
Don't
got
worry about
I
it.
don't know. Kermit the Frog.
It
My
had to do
penis
with
in a
frogs.
competitive mood.
Anyways,
Look.
really quick before we get started and get back into it. You
Back
ever
and the
realize,
foreskin, you get it?
Wait, hold on, what's up, B? What's up, B?
It's back skin
I
and
feel like
foreskin.
Courage
You
the
get
Cowardly Dog would have solved the mystery of Umineko by now.
Oh yeah, he would have been a good. Oh, this would have been a fun episode.
Beatrice is
Courage.
gonna try and hit him with a very large hammer.
Hit with a justice hammer.
Stupid
Rattler's
dog, you
trying to
ruined my
understand
murder
Courage, but
mystery.
he's going like, what is
You're a
this dog
stupid
doing
dog!
here?
They're just like yelling at Muriel. How could they have died in the closed room? It had to be you, Muriel. And she just goes, "Oh, I don't know anything about that. I'm just knitting this nice sweater."
Kenzo would be like,
Stupid
stupid
dog,
grandchildren,
you
you've
ruined
made me
my
look
murder
bad.
mystery.
And Eustace is sitting in his chair
Kenzo's
going
doing
like,
what they used to
I'm
say.
not moving from this chair. No sorry. And while people are just dying around him, no sorry. I'm not moving from this chair.
Kenzo would definitely. I feel like
Sure.
Kenzo would be Eustace.
Yo, he would be best buddies with Eustace.
In Kenzo's study with him.
They're just reciting the riddle, and Yusha just goes, "Wah,
Wah!
wah."
Oh yeah, Muriel's VA just passed away recently. That was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
There's a nice picture on Twitter about that.
Stupid tiny girl, you make me look bad, and just scares the small girl.
I can't believe Eustace was the
Eustace
19th
fuck-
person on Norkenjo.
Used to seeing the gold from the fucking table and like, you're not getting my gold.
Oh god, he would.
Not getting up from this. Not getting out of this chapel.
No, he's sitting
Alright.
at the dinner
Okay.
table with his like
then
newspaper.
Beatrice is just out
He
the
moves it
window.
down. It's the set for his
It's in the
Twilight.
lid.
Kenzo should have just
Butterflies.
returned the
Nah.
slab.
Okay, enough of the goofs. I'm sorry.
Holy shit, we've been goofing for like 5 minutes. All right, whenever you're ready, Con.
All right. Sorry about that.
It's fine.
That's too funny. Okay.
Genzo-sama has already publicly displayed the location of the hidden gold within the epitaph under my portrait. The rules apply equally to all who can read the epitaph. If you discover the gold, I shall return everything to you. Tonight, I ask that you enjoy your battles of wits while Kenzo-sama to the fullest.
Well, that sucks. I can't read.
I sincerely pray that this night will be both intellectual and elegant. Beatrice the Golden.
When Maria finished reading the letter that Beatrice had handed her, everyone was at a loss for words for a while. Then they all broke the silence at once.
Ridiculous. What a worthless, vicious prank.
Seriously? There is no way Father gave up the head's ring.
Isn't this a conversation
Beatrice? Ha! What a transparent prank, hoping to confuse us just by bringing up that name.
It's just a prank, bro.
Hey, who filled this dessert up with a little too much punch? I want to applaud and praise you, so come clean, okay? Rosa?
Of course not. Ugh. I wouldn't pull a prank by assuming father's name.
Then Anarchy? Anarchy?
Me? Are you an idiot? It was Nissan, right? Only he could plan something this vulgar.
Are you trying to mock me? I'm the one who wants to question you. Who is behind this ill-natured prank?
Kraus beat the table and stared at everyone. This not included the children, too. He scared most of them.
A letter from a mysterious person who claims to have been given full rights to father's assets. Considering that the whole point of this family conference is the discussion of that subject, I think it's too hasty to call this a mere prank.
We can't be sure. Maybe it really is one of Father's shady pranks. He might have planned this to shock us a bit, since we've been discussing the distribution of his inheritance without him.
If Dad was the one who planned this, then we can't take what Maria Chan just read aloud as a joke, right?
That's right. If you interpret the contents literally, then this is a test from Father. The epitaph of the witch has been displayed in the hall for quite some time now, so that any one of us could solve it. There was plenty of notice. That means he was saying that the first person to solve it would be handed the inheritance along with all of his wealth, right?
See, my magic granted your wish.
Ridiculous. There is nothing of the sort. It is an unshakable fact that my husband will become the successor to the Yoshirumi family headship. Well, doesn't this letter shake that, bitch? This is a message from the person who was given full rights to all of Father's wealth. Nissan's right to become the head has returned to a blank slate. The person who solves this riddle, the person who finds Beatrice's gold, will become the next head of the Yoshirumi family.
Ridiculous. Do you really think we can trust the meaningless words in that letter? That the seal was the real thing? There's no way we could trust that.
Then let's try to go and ask Father directly. At this point, you can't get away with him saying he's grumpy or feeling bad, right? The sealed wax clearly shows that this was from Father's representative. If you doubt that, then show some proof, Nissan. I'm waiting. Show that this letter does not contain Father's will.
Very well. It is just as you say. No longer matters whether Father's in a good mood or not. Let us go up and ask him directly. Let's do it. We'll ask Dad directly. Dad is Dad, so why would he act in such a roundabout way? Then again, I guess that would be like him.
I wonder if we really should continue this discussion on the assumption that this letter came from Father. Stupid Rosa. Ugh. Isn't it obviously from Father? That letter is Father's! Isn't it obvious that he's giving the four of us an even chance to become the successor? Die, you brainless idiot! Rosa is really dumb. If only she'd just give up and die.
That is the young Ava talking.
Rosa is really dumb. If only she'd just give up and die.
I'm sorry. That's right. I'm sorry.
In the beginning, the adults all doubted the credibility of the letter. After realizing this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance in the inheritance struggle for the three younger siblings, Ava changed her position, claiming this letter was authentic. Rudolph and Rosa caught on and agreed.
Outrageous. How can adults like you take such a worthless prank this seriously? I don't need to be father to understand this contempt.
Well. Not so easy, son. All we gotta do is ask father and we're done, right? Won't everything be fine if father just tells us that he doesn't know about any letter?
Nissan, take responsibility and just get him to say he doesn't know about the letter. This is no time to get scared just because he's in a bad mood, okay?
He's still scared of father at his age. That idiot. If only he'd just give up and die.
Yeah. Let's get this settled clearly. He's probably eating in his study right now. Let's have him set down his chopsticks for just a moment. It's decided. Let's go. Kyrie, wait here for a while. We'll go to check whether it's true or not and come back quickly.
Thank you. I'll wait patiently for Goto-san to bring in dessert.
The four siblings, Natsuhi and Hideyoshi, all rose from their seats forcefully and flew out into the hallway with a clatter. Afterwards, only the children, stunned, completely speechless, Nanja, who looked uncomfortable, and Kyrie, who just shrugged, were left. In the middle of all this was Maria, who looked a little scared of the adult's sudden change. However, judging from her appearance, she didn't look like she realized the full meaning of what she'd just read.
What in the world was that all about? I don't get it.
They're all bastards. Do they really want the inheritance that much?
Everyone. This is our parents' problem. It has nothing to do with us. So you mustn't worry about it.
Even if you say that, we're so blatant about it.
I can't believe them. Ugh. Showing off their greed like that. Everyone has to believe together that we'll be happy.
That's right. We all did promise. Come on, Barukan, Jessica-chan. You too.
I feel horrible.
We couldn't accept it at all, but we laid down our arms for the time being. We've been vaguely aware of how filthy this family conference was going to be. However, after the 6-year blank, I couldn't help but be shocked. When he saw the children were completely dejected, Dr. Nanju cleared his throat uncomfortably.
It's an adult matter. There is nothing to do with all of you young people. Let us forget about it.
It's been a while since I've done Nacho.
I would if I could. I know it's hard. But forget it for now. All of your parents are fighting frantically to make your futures just a little brighter. Please, don't look at your injured parents with those cold eyes when they come back.
Or how you ask us, Kirie-san. Oh, fuck. Please. No matter how you ask us, Kirie-san, that'll be tough.
If we could be happy with an explanation like that, we wouldn't be kids.
Everyone be happy. No, can't get dark. Believe. If everyone doesn't believe we can be happy, then happiness will get away. Everyone has to believe.
I like the sound of that. I'll believe too. I'll believe we can find happiness.
Oh, Kirie, thank you. Bella and Jessica, you believe too. Beatrice is also always saying that magic won't have any power if you don't believe. Or me.
Kirie-san rose from her seat quietly, went over Maria and crouched down so their eyes met.
Kirie believed. Now Butler and Jessica have to believe.
Those two are strong. They'll feel better soon, and then they'll believe. Okay?
Yeah.
More importantly, I want you to tell me something.
When Kirie-san said that, Jessica, George Aniki, Dr. Nanjo, and I all listened closely. Looked like our parents were so concerned with the inheritance problem that grandfather filled their minds. We wanted to ask Maria about something simpler.
What?
Who gave you that letter?
Beatrice!
The witch drawn in that portrait?
She gave me this letter and an umbrella. And she used magic to fix my rose that was broken. Beatrice is an awesome witch who can do anything.
Could you tell us about that in a bit more detail?
Umanako no Naku Koro ni.
I know which one is it.
The witch's written challenge.
Without even being allowed to wait for dessert, we were chased out of the room.
Now I'm gonna test your penmanship, Batno child.
I heard that in the end, our parents weren't able to get grandfather to respond. Well, I hate to say it, but I feel like giving grandfather a high five right now. Probably pretty satisfied with how his strange letter had given his children a good shock, since they'd all been so infatuated with the inheritance problem while grandfather was still alive. I also felt like our despicable parents had gotten what they deserved for all this confusion. But I couldn't really say I was feeling great. Felt all sulky. Apparently grandfather hadn't seemed concerned with the whole thing, but he also hadn't denied anything about the letter either. In talking about the witch's letter, grandfather's name kept popping up. Grandfather knew that someone was stealing his name, then considering his character, he'd probably be mad with rage. But even grandfather now knew the contents of that letter. Even though grandfather now knew the contents of that letter, he coldly ignored it. So that counts as a silent yes? Anna and Dad were trying to interpret the letter in their favor, their greed clearly visible. It wouldn't have mattered so much if that was all, but the adults who had now started to focus on Maria, who had received the letter. They kept pounding her with questions about who had given it to her. Maria repeated over and over again that she had gotten it from Beatrice, but there was no way such a mysterious person could have sneaked onto the island. After all, this island is small, and there's no one living on it outside the Ashurmia family household. Maria kept repeating that she'd gotten it from Beatrice no matter how many times she was asked. They all seemed to think that she was trying to trick them. They didn't hold back and questioned her until she broke out in tears. Maria's released, she sobbed, all worn out from crying. But after our parents ordered us to go to the guest house and take Maria with us. They shut themselves up in the dining hall and started getting louder and louder as they discussed the inheritance. Seeing that because of that strange letter, Uncle Krause's chances of becoming the next head might have been reduced to a blank slate. In exchange for accepting him, my dad and the rest were trying to swindle Uncle Krause out of a lot of money. That. Discussed as we were, Jessica and I were happy to move over to the guest house. We didn't want to be under the same roof as those filthy adults. Their heads so filled with thoughts about money. We were trying to keep pleaded on our parents' behalf, saying that they want us to understand them. I understood his reasoning. No matter how filthy the talk of money was, it wouldn't go away if you just closed your eyes to it. But even so, how could they sink so low as to overtly fight over the money of the dead? Maria cried herself dry and was hiding in her bed. She hadn't even twitched for a while, so she was probably sleeping.
Who in the world gave that letter to Maria-chan?
George Nissan? You can't ask her that anymore. Isn't it fine to say that Maria got it from Beatrice and leave it at that?
After all, we don't want to make her cry any more than this.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we said that, couldn't clear away a gloomy feeling.
There are only 18 people on this island now. The thought that somewhere in the rain, a 19th person gave Maria-chan that letter and is now hiding somewhere. Does it seem realistic at all?
Most likely. Somebody got Shannon or...
John?
Huh? Pikachu?
Sorry, someone suddenly opened my door and my dog ran in here barking like an idiot again. Most likely. Somebody got Shannon or someone to put on a dress from that portrait and cleverly got Maria to go along with their story. Though in Maria's case, just seeing the dress would probably convince her that it really was Beatrice.
Maybe it doesn't really matter who handed her the letter. The important thing is who sent it. The point is that Grandfather wanted to cause an uproar by assuming the name of the witch. Seriously, that old geezer's good at riling people up. The most likely answer is that our occult-loving grandfather is playing around, handling the letter over to Maria, who shares the same hobby as he does, in such a dramatic way. Though he failed to give any other thought for what Maria would have to go through, making it a pretty shitty thing to do. Seriously, messing around with Maria's pure heart. No matter who handed the letter over. Maria said she got it from Beatrice. Let's just treat it that way.
I agree. Let's do that. To Maria-chan, Beatrice is kind of like what Santa Claus is to most kids.
Whether they're dealing with some non-existent 19th person or Santa Claus. As long as we all acknowledge them, they'll at least exist inside Maria. I see. Guess it can be important to lie to a child to protect their dreams. What's up, Jessica? You still angry? Jessica had her hand on her chin, though there's something that she just couldn't understand. When I called out to her, she came to her senses.
Sorry. Well, actually... I was wondering if Maria might have actually met Beatrice.
What do you mean by that? You're saying there's a 19th person on this island?
If you are truly taking Maria-chan's words to heart, then you would arrive at that answer.
No, that's not what I mean. I'm talking about the story that someone we don't know has been living on this island since long ago.
Living, you say? Where?
In the forest.
Adults were gathering in the dining hall, spending a very long time continuing the discussion that had been started by Beatrice's letter. Crowstrong claimed that the letter was a simple prank, but he couldn't overturn the claim that Kinzo's failure to deny the letter was answer enough. Judging by Kinzo's character, if he knew that the letter had been written in his name, he would be mad with rage. Since all the siblings knew that, Kraus had no choice but to withdraw his claim. Not even having summarized it, the contents of the letter were simple. The person who could solve this witch's epitaph would receive the headship of and assets. It did a lot of damage to Kraus, who had been sure that he would receive the headship. And was better news than the rest of them, who had already given up, could have hoped for. However, there were some points that worried them. The person who solved the epitaph was not limited to a member of the Ashurmia family. Taken literally, anyone, no matter how doubtful of their origin, might receive the headship. And furthermore, that meant that there was a chance that all the Ashurmia family's assets would be stolen by some unknown person. In that sense, it was definitely in that situation where even the other siblings could afford to lower their guard. Had this letter come from an assassin sent by Kinzo, calling themselves Beatrice? Or was this the scheme of some unknown person trying to steal the Ashurmia family's wealth? They still didn't know the truth. But they could say one thing for certain. Maria received this problematic letter. Today. On this island. In other words, someone was planning something to do with that letter was on that island today. This island today. Had it been set up by Kinzo, one of the 4 siblings? Maybe some unknown person. No matter how much they suspected each other, they couldn't reach a conclusion. After getting tired of bickering with each other, they finally reached the extremely obvious conclusion that doubting each other was just a waste of time.
I'm mad with rage. We've made no progress. We've just been spinning our wheels.
That's right. Ugh. And the mere fact that you've realized means we won't have to waste any more time. It is not certain that Father sent the letter. My husband is merely exasperated by your inability to hold a conversation. Who's unstable to hold a conversation? Bitch, look at me. You keep yelling at me every time I say something. Do you truly think that such a shameful behavior is fitting for a member of the Ashurmia family?
Oh, sorry.
Will you give her a rest, Eva? You too, Natsui-san. That topic's finished for now.
Shall we all cool our heads off for now? Let's have some cool drinks brought over. That sounds good. It would probably be wiser if we cooled our heads. Don't you want to take a short break, dear? Break 2, dear?
Aniki looks like she's in a bad mood. so I'll pass on that break. But I agree about the cool drinks. Rosa, have someone bring some water. A whole pitcher.
Yes, understood.
Rosa headed over to the extension telephone in the corner of the room and called the servant room. Then passed on what Rudolph had told her to the person on the other end. The vicious bickering up until now vanished as though it had been a lie. That silence continued until Goda finished setting the table and retreated from the room. Is there anything else that you require?
No. Please leave us.
Yes! Then if you will excuse me, if you need anything, call me at any time. After listening to the sound of Goda's footsteps disappear off into the distance, everyone took a deep breath at the same time to break the tension.
It sure is raining hard. I wonder if this 19th person is taking shelter in the Rose Garden Arbor right about now.
I wonder. They might be able to escape the rain there, but it would be quite cold.
The mysterious 19th person as a visitor. Sound pretty interesting. Just like a mystery novel. Normally, in that kind of story, it's a safe bet that the person doesn't exist. That one of us, 18, would be faking it.
I suspect Genji and the others. Just as I thought, it would have been better if we had dismissed all of the servants of the One-Winged Eagle, no matter what excuses we had to make.
Come now, don't say that. We must be grateful for their long years of service. Of course, we can't let our guard down.
I'm sure you agree too, Nissan, that whether or not Father was behind this, the person who handed Maria this letter was a servant.
Indeed. In any event, we were all being friendly in our big happy circle until dinner, weren't we? All of the siblings have alibis. Only a servant could have handed Maria that letter.
But all of the servants said they were too busy with the bed making to have any spare time during which they could go to Maria-chan in the Rose Garden.
Hey, what are you trying to say then? You aren't saying that the Witch of the Forest, Beatrice-sama, came over and actually handed Maria the letter, are you?
Rosa, you used to believe in that so much it really frightened you, right? Don't tell me you still believe that at this age. In the Witch of the Forest. If she did exist, I'd love for her to appear. But no matter how much I wished, she didn't appear before me even once. She didn't save me from my crisis. Of course not. I just thought that since all 18 of us said we didn't do it, there might really be a 19th person. That's all.
That can't be. In the first place, we were the only ones who came in on that boat. We didn't see any mysterious stranger riding with us. You don't think they could have swam across the rough sea, right? I can't really imagine it. Ha ha ha!
Logically, that's true. It is difficult to imagine that there's a single hidden and uninvited guest on this isolated island. However, it looks like some of us still can't abandon the possibility completely, right?
Hideyoshi had laughed it off, saying that there couldn't be a 19th person. But Kiria had sensitively picked up on the delicate atmosphere among the four siblings. In a normal situation, there shouldn't have been any uninvited guest in this small, isolated island. How would they have come here, and from where? And where were they hiding? And why hadn't they appeared openly, even though they had sent a letter in their name? Nothing could explain it. But not only had the four siblings not joined in on Hideyoshi's laughing, they all seemed unable to completely deny in their hearts the possibility of a 19th person.
Kirie-san, please don't misunderstand. It's not as though we believe in anything like that fairy tale-like legend of the witch.
This another topic to insult Father. Simply speaking of such a thing is a betrayal against him.
I wonder. However, this is Father we're talking about. It could be possible, right?
I don't know anything.
What's this? What's this? Why is everyone gone so gloomy? What are you talking about? In short, the legend of the witch isn't a joke, but a fact. That's ridiculous.
Of course, nobody believes in some witch riding a broom and flying in the sky. But the woman in that portrait, Beatrice, might really have existed on this island.
Hideyoshi-san. It looks like we aren't talking about a witch, but something a little simpler. So, it must be something like this. Everyone suspects that Father had a mistress named Beatrice secretly living somewhere on this island. Is that it?
Father was always exemplary and kept in keeping strictly to the rules. It is completely inconceivable that he would bring something so filthy onto this island.
Natsuhi snapped at them immediately. Look at the four siblings, including Kraus, didn't agree. On the contrary, they appeared to think that Kinzo wouldn't have even hesitated to do something like that. From the beginning, it had been whispered that Kinzo had built a mansion on this island, specifically because of the existence of an entrancing mistress.
I'm sorry, Natsuhi-san. I know how much you respect Dad, but that rumor's been around for a long time. All the buildings on Rikkenjima were built by Dad on his own. People have always guessed he had some contraption, a secret room set up in this mansion that only he knew about. And it's always been whispered that somewhere hidden on this island there's a secret mansion none of us know about.
You're just dangling the keys in front of my face, damn it! I see.
Your mic is fucking up again.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I see. This island might look small on a map, but it's quite large for just the Yoshiromiya family to live on. So people have suspected that he built a secret mansion somewhere in the uncivilized forest for his mistress to live in? That would be quite a large-scale scheme.
In the beginning, people thought it might be somewhere inside this very mansion. That there might be a hidden basement with a fabulous hidden room where the witch in that portrait was secretly hiding. After seeing that intricate auto lock on Dad's study, it isn't too hard to imagine, right? After all, Father did spread the rumor that a large amount of gold was hidden somewhere by some mechanism. I wouldn't be surprised if there existed some hidden room in this very mansion that none of us knows about. Yet.
When Mother was alive, she would often scour the entire mansion searching for Father when he wasn't anywhere to be found. Mother also suspected what Rudolph just said. She believed there was a hidden door or stairway somewhere, and that its blonde-haired mistress was hidden behind it.
But I believe there are some actual examples in other countries of people cheating with someone over a period of several decades, by making them live in a hidden attic room. Furthermore, it turns out a mansion this extravagant. I also suspect the existence of a hidden room.
From what I've heard, the legend of the Rokkenjima witch was just a fairy tale made up to scare children away from the uncivilized forest. But it's starting to sound like there's a little more to the story.
Well, as you know, this is a lonely island without anything but the Ashirmia mansion on it. When Rose and I were little brats on stormy nights, we got so scared by the sound of trees rustling in the direction of the forest. We had this crazy delusion that something weird might be looking out at us from between those trees. It's only natural for a brat to think of stuff like that. But when Rose and I complained about it, some people figured it was more than a brat's imagination. Isn't that right, Anarchy?
Yeah. Mason and I thought you might have coincidentally spotted Father's mistress, living in secrecy on this island as she went up for a walk when no one was looking. Of course, Mother felt the same.
Even among the older servants, you often heard that ghost story about how the witch of the portrait wanders the mansion at midnight. Outwardly, I laughed it off as just a ghost story, but on the inside, I suspected very much that it hinted at the existence of a hidden mistress.
In that case, you're saying that the existence of a 19th person might not be completely ridiculous. That they might actually be somewhere around here.
Sounds like one of those devil's proofs Rudolph's always been talking about. It might be possible to prove that there is a 19th person, but it's impossible to prove that a 19th person doesn't exist. Should we continue this discussion on the assumption that there's a person named Beatrice hiding somewhere on this island?
That's a good plan from the perspective of risk management. It's probably much more prudent to say she might exist rather than saying she couldn't exist.
I see. Sorry, I was a bit careless. Rosa-san, sorry for laughing at you right now. Just now.
It's fine. I don't mind.
Hideyoshi apologized deeply for taking the worst-case scenario lightly, despite calling himself the president of a company. Silence fell again. Praying for the existence of a 19th person would mean, in effect, acknowledging the presence of some unknown person hidden on this island. Since this person might be planning something shady, it was only natural that the conversation would turn into an ominous direction.
In the past, Father would sometimes suddenly disappear without telling anyone where he went. After all, he's a man who values silence. It wouldn't have been out of the ordinary for him to shut himself up in some... I missed about the half of that last one.
Whoopsie doopsies.
It wouldn't have been out of the ordinary for him to shut himself up in some library room after purposefully not telling anyone where he's going.
Oh fuck. God damn it!
However, when the witch theory was slowly refined into the theory about his mistress, people eventually whispered that he was secretly going back and forth to see her. Mom was totally paranoid in her last years. She'd sometimes suddenly start making a fuss, asking the servants to start looking for Dad immediately because of some urgent situation.
Yes, that did happen sometimes. Mother was always doing things like that in her later years, and that frightening atmosphere still hasn't gone away. I can say it for certain now. She was a person to be pitied.
So then, what happened with those large-scale searches of the house? Did they find anything?
No. Father wasn't caught foolishly in a hidden room even once. Always after a long time had passed, he would suddenly show up somewhere. Then he'd say that he'd taken a nap in some library room, or that the wind had summoned him to take a walk on the beach. But it was always someplace where the servants had already looked. We never knew where Father had gone. Even at the time, Grandfather was famous for his occult inclinations. So some of the servants exaggerated, saying he might have turned into butterflies and danced around the rose garden. So in short, Father frequently disappeared, and no one knew where he went.
Yeah. Since we couldn't find him no matter how much we looked inside the mansion, we got more and more sure that Dad might have been somewhere outside. But the area outside the mansion isn't large at all, which leaves only the forest. And if you tie that in with the legend of the witch, you get a theory like this. Father actually built a hidden mansion somewhere in the forest, inside of which a mistress by the name of Beatrice lived, and he sometimes went to see her. I was also young at the time. I was so eager to find where Father was having his affair that at one time I followed him where he went outside. Of course it was a failure. Every time Father went out, he was oddly intent on avoiding places where he might be seen. He was extremely careful to prevent anyone from spotting him. He was extraordinarily earnest in his attempts to do so. But that actually made me sure. He must have been going out for some reason that the members of his family couldn't know about.
And that would be going to meet his mistress. Probably trying to avoid being seen.
After seeing Hideyoshi nod and say yes, yes, though it was quite obvious, Ava got a little sullen.
Well, anyway. This island was like a sketchbook in which Father, with his Western obsession, could draw out all of his dreams. Everything about this island was exactly how Father wanted it. It wouldn't be odd at all if there was a hidden mansion somewhere for his mistress to live in.
Ava's words spoke for what all the siblings had come to think. For a while the room returned to silence again, and everyone listened to the sound of the wind and rain. Was there a hidden mansion on this island? And had Kinzo's mistress been living there in hiding for a long, long time? Everyone thought they were being too suspicious, and they hesitated for a long time without speaking. But everyone shared a common opinion. Kyrie, who had been listening to this whole time with her eyes closed, spoke to no one in particular.
How long has this rumor about Father's mistress been around?
As soon as we moved to this island about 30 years ago. After all, it probably would have been impossible for him to have a hidden mansion built while we were here. People and materials would have to be going in and out. It would have been exposed quickly. So if it was possible, it happened before we moved here. It probably could have been built along with this mansion when we were still living in Odawara.
Since Father had to set up a double life with his family and his mistress, it's probably reasonable to assume that he had planned it all from the beginning. And his relationship with that mistress probably went back to the days when we lived in Odawara.
Probably. If, as father says, she is the source of the vast amount of gold he used to gain the funds that resurrected the Yoshirimiya family, we could probably conclude that they had a close relationship since Odawara. A relationship trusting enough for her to lend him a vast quantity of gold. I can't even imagine how old that relationship must have been.
Perhaps Father gave her some kind of valuable advice for succeeding in business. It's natural to think that, out of a sense of gratitude for that, this person gave Father the gold. If you think about it that way, it's obvious that they would have a close relationship after that. Rather than a festering relationship with a mistress, it was probably a relationship of gratitude to the person who saved the Yoshirimiya family from its crisis.
I don't know if what Natsui-san's saying has a ring of truth to it or not.
If what she's saying.
But even in the case, even in that case, isn't building a hidden mansion and having her live in it going a bit too far? Doesn't that mean they felt something a bit more than gratitude?
Well, this is all just speculation. In the first place, no one's ever found that hidden mansion. Aniki, you were planning on expanding this island into a resort, right? As you were doing that, you didn't manage to stumble on it by chance, did you? Maybe you even bumped into some gold there, too. Do you think Rokenjima's Treasure Island or something?
Don't play dumb. We know that, although you were saying you're opening a resort, you have really been planning to investigate the entire island, right?
Hey, thanks, Dirk Ein, for following. I appreciate that.
Judging by all that trouble and confusion we were talking about earlier, you haven't been very successful, have you?
Also, thank you for the follow.
Hey, thanks for that follow. I don't know what you're talking about, but it's a misunderstanding. Isn't it perfectly natural that investigating this island would be the first step in turning it into a resort?
Kraus tried to play dumb, but it was plainly obvious to his siblings who knew him so well. Kraus was definitely sure of the existence of a hidden mansion. Under the pretense of opening a resort, he had been closely investigating the island, searching for a clue as to the location of the hidden gold. They couldn't tell whether the conviction was just him overthinking things, or whether it was based on some physical proof. Still, if Kraus with all his guile was sure, that was enough proof for the other siblings to be sure too.
The story about a witch living in the forest is obviously a fairy tale. But the story about some blonde-haired girl living secretly in the mansion no one knows about, in the middle of the forest, isn't much better.
That's right. That really would be just like a fairy tale. You like those, don't you, Rosa? Isn't that what your husband said to you on your wedding night?
You never got married.
I know that it was supposed to be a burn. Well...
When the mansion was built on this island, Father was at the height of his prosperity. With his money, he could probably obtain anything, make any of his wild imaginings real. A mansion in the forest where a witch quietly waits. Sounds like the kind of situation Father would like. Doesn't it? Like something from the occult, or a fairy tale. Feels like Dad's kind of hobby.
On this island in which the Ashramia family had lived for 30 years now, a hidden mansion that no one knew about had been quietly built to house a witch, about whom nothing was known except what could be guessed from a portrait. Even this hastily thrown together theory might not be completely delusional, considering all of Kinzo's strange habits and his vast wealth.
It might not be... I didn't get to do that.
Sorry.
My man keep
Easy
pressing
to
buttons.
trigger your finger, bro.
Yeah, what can I say? I'm really excited.
It might not have been impossible for Father to build a hidden mansion to satisfy his dreams. However, let's be realistic. Would it be possible to house his beloved woman in that hidden mansion for decades without it becoming inconvenient? Well, if there was love, it could have been doable, right? Think of the facilities needed to let his beloved woman live healthily. And in a way, that would satisfy Father. For example, even if it was on a small scale, it would have to be an intricate and pleasant residence. And it would probably need to have electricity, gas, and running water maintained, as well as possibly someone to help her. Even providing for her meals would be quite difficult. She would need clothes and makeup, daily necessities. The needs of a woman aren't simple. Would it be possible to maintain all of that without any of the family or the servants noticing?
When you say it that way, it sure sounds like a weak point in our theory. But that isn't enough to get rid of my feeling that Dad might have been able to do it anyway. After all, it's Dad we're talking about.
That's right. It's our father. Father wanted to succeed in an endeavor. He would succeed no matter what. Saying that something would be difficult for a normal person and therefore impossible doesn't apply when it comes to Father.
Indeed. You should never underestimate Father. Father's madness can't be understood by normal people. Is this still me?
I wouldn't put it past that, Kenzo. As long as you stick to this phrase, a considerable amount of credibility can be developed in any absurd story. However, that didn't cause the importance of what Kyria had said to waver. This was different from stealthily raising a kitten in a cardboard box and keeping it secret from your parents. Taking care of a person in secret over a period of 30 years would be an incalculably massive task.
After all, Father's Legend of the Gold started before he gained possession of Rokkenshima. That means his relationship with his mistress was over 30 years long. How old would that make her? In the worst case scenario, she could be as old as us, or older, right? By that age, the body starts to break down. I don't care what the mansion's like. I wouldn't use the word agreeable to describe living in a place where people's eyes can't reach. Almost like she was under house arrest.
That's right. If what Father told us about Beatrice is true, then that relationship has lasted for over 30 years. She might have been a charming young woman at the time, but it probably makes sense to assume she's an old bag like us now. Or like most of us. I can easily imagine that, given the contents of that letter.
Gross.
Hey, Kraus, you should talk.
You should talk.
Kraus laughed as if none of this applied to him. Of course, Ava was offended, but she didn't strike back.
Quit it, Anarchy. So if everyone were thinking's true, then she should be joining in on Dad's inheritance problem with her head held high. After all, there's a good chance their love was mutual, like with Mom. Even if she knows she's his mistress, she might also be proud to be his true wife.
That is an insult to Mother.
Yeah, sorry. However, everyone knows there was a political marriage decided on by the elders among his relatives. Because of that, it definitely wouldn't be strange for Dad to have a mistress.
Family sank after the Great Kanto earthquake, and Father was set up as the Ashurmiya family's head against as well. Oh, I think someone's talking. I don't fucking know. In the beginning, the elder received relatives treated Kinzo like a dummy, and influenced him powerfully, almost like he was a puppet. He wasn't permitted to decide anything by himself, not even of his marriage, but as his marriage partner. Ever since they met that golden witch Beatrice in those distant days, Kinzo's legend of the gold was quickly embellished into something dramatic. In other words, it could mean that Kinzo really did find a woman he loved. If she also knew about this whole story, even if they weren't marriage partners, it wouldn't have been odd for her to consider herself his true wife inside her heart. And now, the person registered as his true wife was already dead.
Which means that she might which means she might feel confident staking her claim. Not just for the rights to his assets, but
How many times has that happened?
Like 5.
A lot.
God, your
apparently.
finger is just pressing the
Yeah,
button.
you have
Oh,
an
God.
You have an itchy
But-
finger.
guarding the battle.
I'm excited, but please go easy on the itchy trigger finger, okay?
I know, don't worry, sheesh.
Just because you're
Watch guarding the battle over the headship too.
Just because you made gold, Lewis, doesn't mean you should always press buttons.
It's
I
not
see.
a big deal.
I'm starting to see the purpose of this letter. The headship goes to the one who solves the riddle of the epitaph. Is that what it means?
Even if that mistress was added in the family ranking system, she isn't a direct relative of father, so she'd be inferior even to the children. In other words, she'd be one step below Rosa in rank. That wouldn't be a good position to enter the battle for the headship from.
I see, so that's it. If someone can solve the witch's riddle, they'll get the headship regardless of rank. In other words, it's the most advantageous condition Beatrice could possibly get, since she's got no chance otherwise.
The revival of the Ashurmia family was made possible by the gold Beatrice had bestowed. That was quite the distinguishing service that she had provided. She had built the wealth together with Kinzo, so it was natural that she would think of herself as the one who should inherit it. It would also be natural for her to despise the thought of giving it up to the children of the wife Kinzo never loved.
How could he be so impudent? Ugh. Even if such a mistress actually exists, joining in on the battle for the rights to the head's inheritance would be a reckless action far above her place. What disregard for her own position? Ooh, there's a lot of classism here, folks.
Natsuhi turned red, her fist quivering. She had also come into the Ashurmia register due to a complicated circumstance. Those who knew that understood more or less why she was so angry for the sake of Kinzo's dead wife.
Well, thanks to that reckless action of hers, we all have an even chance now, right? Father has even given it his silent approval. Will the person who succeeds the Ashurmia family be his mistress Beatrice, or one of us, the relatives he doesn't love? Maybe he wants to make a struggle over that to see who's worthy.
Zeva giggled roguishly. Kraus shrugged his shoulders and looked away. Struggled.
Struggle.
The struggle do be real.
Struggle.
Struggling with his own shoulders.
Struggling.
The struggle.
I don't know why, but that sounds like it would be an actual word.
Stop struggling.
However, since she's the one who brought this rule to light in the first place, maybe that means it gives her a significant advantage.
That's right. In the first place, that Beatrice meant the letter literally. Then she's Father's alchemist. In other words, she's the manager of his gold. It wouldn't be strange at all if she knew where it was hidden, would it?
Yoshi.
Oh, I was spreading the wrong push talk. Wait, is that meant for Kyrie? Is that a bug? It sounds like he's replying to himself.
I'd say go with Kyrie and see what happens.
Isn't that?
Oh no! This is totally him. This is not a bug.
Isn't that harsh? It's like she's giving us a riddle she knows the answer to. She'll probably show up rudely, say, "Hey, here's the answer. I'll take the headship now." Snatch everything away from us.
That's right. The person who brings up a riddle always knows the answer. There's a good chance that this is all a trap to steal everything from us.
If you think about it like that, don't you start to doubt whether she really had any gold in the first place? Why would she tell us about it? All she has to do is keep quiet and embezzle it. It's pretty easy. It really is. Strange.
This certainly was the case. If the epitaph showed the way to the hidden gold, why would she challenge them to try and solve it? If they actually did solve it, wouldn't the gold all be stolen from her? Could it be that the person was trying to stir the siblings up so they'd solve the epitaph? And they planned to steal it away at the last second? It was an extremely logical possibility.
No. If you spin the chessboard around, there might be a pretty good chance that they actually do have the gold. Why are you so certain?
Wait, Anarchy. Kyrie, please keep talking. Why do you think that?
After all, do they really think we'll let go of the Ushirmiya family headship? Just because someone tells us the answer to the riddle in the witch's epitaph? That we'll be so impressed by their answer that we'll just give up?
Well, that's true. No way they're so naive that they'd assume we just give up after being told the answer to a riddle. We just say, "Here you go," and hand it over.
Of course. The headship of the Ushirmiya family is not something that can be handed over so easily.
That's it, exactly. No matter how Beatrice might one-sidedly propose a game like this, even if she were to speculatively show us the answer, there's no way we'd obediently hand over the headship. In other words, unless she has a compelling force in the form of challenging us to a game with equal conditions for us all, this won't truly count as a game.
Game.
You're right. Unless the losers have no chance but to give up on the headship because of a compelling force, this won't really count as a game. And what might this compelling force be? Will they bind us in chains and threaten us into handing over the headship?
I see. I get it. They just have to do something to make us want to give up the headship willingly. Yes, I see.
Gesundheit.
Thank you. Owie.
Yes, I see. To do that, Beatrice would have to own 10 tons of gold.
I see. I get it too. In other words, it's a trade.
Huh? What do you mean? A trade? Trade what?
The Ushiramiya family headship for the hidden gold. Beatrice surely plans to tell us the location of 10 tons of gold, and use that as a bribe to gain the Ushiramiya family headship.
Ridiculous! They want to trade the headship of the glorious Ushiramiya family for money? That's blasphemy. Blasphemy against the Ushiramiya family.
Please listen without getting mad. About how much wealth does this glorious Ushiramiya family have right now? Are we really that affluent?
The definition of affluence is not dependent on property. It is about heart. Our financial situation has nothing to...
Press interrupted Natsu as he started to go on and on emotionally. In this situation, the more she went on like that, the worse it would actually sound.
Me aside, I hear your current situations are quite unfavorable.
Oh, really? Tell me, how's your housing market going? I've been hearing that your financial situation's really bad, too. Offering up more and more as collateral for new money to gamble with. Repeatedly dabbling in new gambles, unable to accept your losses. If we count what's going on behind the scenes, you're in even bigger financial straits than the rest of us. Just how much money have you lost, Nissan? You have no talent. Who are you saying has no talent? And what do you mean financial straits?
Natsuhi became indignant once more. The Cressert raised his hand again and interrupted her.
It seems you're all making a small mistake. Business is not something that can be judged based on current progress alone. For someone with a long-term outlook on business, such as myself, it may sometimes appear at a glance that I have suffered significant short-term losses.
Bitch, admit you broke!
Anarchy. We've been collecting evidence. Your position right now isn't one to be proud of.
I have FBI statistics.
No, worse. IRS.
So this is what Kyrie is trying to say. Every one of us has got money trouble. And Beatrice has 10 tons of gold.
As
as the only person who knows the location of the 10 tons of gold, Beatrice is planning on using it to force us to sell the headship. About how much is 10 tons of gold worth? At a rough estimate, let's say 2 billion yen? No, 20 billion yen. With that much piled up, we'd be ecstatic to accept her as the successor.
The scene returned to silence. In fact, the rain and wind felt even noisier now. Probably the sound of the windstorm racing through the insides of their minds.
This isn't funny. To think we'd give up the headship to some woman of doubtful origin just because she had a little money stored up.
Don't be stupid. The headship wasn't even yours in the first place, right?
Bruh.
Wow, to your wife.
We've got nothing to lose and money to gain. We'll have to calculate our profit and loss, but it's something worth listening to.
They knew that Kraus had eaten up much of the Ashuramiya family's assets. Eaten up much of the Ashuramiya family's ass. So it was drags the remain of the inheritance, versus the cost of being accepted as the head that Beatrice would pay. It was a shame, but honestly, the former was less enticing than the latter.
Well, it probably wouldn't end up as for equal portions. Since Anarchy would be giving up his position of a successor, his portion would have to be larger. Makes me feel kind of jealous, you know?
Dear. The amount of money isn't the problem, right? Your cowardly younger siblings are trying to sell the glory of the Ashuramiya family for money, don't you see? Why aren't you displaying your dignity as the oldest son?
What glory do these people have?
Yeah, I think it pretty much got flushed down the drain.
That's here. Stay quiet for a while.
Dear?
This is a dizzying proposal. We were each planning on getting 250 million yen out of you, Anarchy. If the witch treats us with 10% of those 10 tons...
That's 2 billion.
Yeah. Well, that'd mean she's treating us with 10 times our original goal. Well, that alone would be more than enough for us. It's not like I've got any attachment to the Ashuramiya name. I'd be happy to sell it off.
Even if 10 tons is a slightly optimistic figure, yes, it'd still be a fascinating prospect for us. We were trying to form an alliance among the siblings to kick this outsider called Beatrice out. But if this is her plan, it'll tear apart the unity between us. Yeah, by this point we can state it clearly. The goal of Beatrice's letter was to disturb our alliance.
If the three younger siblings who never had anything to do with the inheritance were paid enough money to satisfy them, then they would happily accept Beatrice as the next head. A moat had been dug all around Kraus. In that case, the negotiations would be one-on-one between her and Kraus. She tried to look strong, but Kraus's financial and political situation was extremely weak. He might bluff in front of his siblings, but only on the inside. He was considering entering negotiations, depending on the sum of money involved. In order to bury his losses, Kraus had taken advantage of the fact that Kinzo would shut himself up in his room, and had embezzled Kinzo's personal assets. Therefore, when Kinzo died and the inheritance was distributed, Kraus's situation would probably be investigated. But if he gave up on his seat to the inheritance, Beatrice, if he gave up his seat as the head to Beatrice, she'd also receive rights to the assets, and as a result, the distribution of the inheritance to the siblings would not occur. In other words, Kraus's embezzlement might not have been made known to the other siblings. Of course, the siblings were frightened of Kinzo, but it was doubtful whether they actually still respected him as a father. By the time they each had their own families, their own wealth, and their own lives, if they were paid enough money in exchange for Rokenjima, the wreckage of Kinzo's dreams, there was a significant likelihood that they would relinquish the Ashirame family name. In other words, Beatrice's victory was already guaranteed in this game. Not as the winner of Beatrice's game, but as the winner of Kinzo's game. Kinzo once ordered that the epitaph be put on display, and until today no one had solved it. So Beatrice solved it. In other words, it's less of a game, more like Beatrice's declaration of victory. However, Kyrie still thought there might be a catch. This is a declaration of victory. Beatrice would only have to display the gold openly and state her intent to buy the inheritance. And yet she had gone to all of this trouble telling the siblings to try and solve the epitaph. Why did she set up this new game where she agreed to hand over all of the gold and the inheritance to the epitaph solver? There's an extra "the" there by accident. Kyrie tried spinning the chessboard around several times. There's the sort of ideal strategy Beatrice might be after, something that could lead to this kind of thinking. In the end, she reached a single conclusion.
Could it be arrogance? Or maybe she's playing. What are you talking about? The witch sent us a letter of challenge, forcing us to try and solve the epitaph. She might be taking us lightly, thinking we could never solve it. However, at the very least, there ought to be an extremely small chance that we do solve it. After all, we have here 4 of Father's children by blood, right? The questioner called together 4 blood relatives who, if they tried frantically to work together and avoid having those assets stolen from them, might come across the answer of the riddle by chance.
The reason the witch had a superior position in negotiations compared to the siblings was that only she knew the location of the hidden gold. But if the hiding place was exposed to someone other than her, the witch's advantage would crumble.
In short, Beatrice gains nothing but risk by writing this witch's letter of challenge. Of course, it might have had the effect of splitting apart the siblings' alliance. But if that was her only goal, why would she take this risk, however slight it might be? That seems reckless to me. But if we keep in mind a certain type of emotion, that risk becomes comprehensible. Pardon me. And you're saying it's arrogant? Yes, that's right. When people have an overwhelming advantage, they tend to get arrogant. And when they do, they want to show off that advantage to the losers, so they sometimes take on small risks. A moderate amount of risk adds a little spice to the joy of victory. It'd be boring to win without any risk. I understand.
God?
Sorry, writing notes.
No problem. Write all the notes. Oh, Jesus.
I like that kind of thing too. Yeah, I understand it well.
I thought of a few plausible explanations for the true motive behind Beatrice's letter. But I think this really might be the truth. The emotion hidden behind that letter was arrogance.
Arrogance.
She's trying to throw her weight around, looking down on us as if there's no way we could figure out such a difficult epitaph. It might even be possible, if surprising, that the epitaph wasn't written by Father, but by her.
Sounds great. Solve the riddle of the epitaph, she says.
If only I solved it, I would be made the head, right? I'll solve it. I'll accept the witch's challenge. As if those other idiot siblings could solve it. I'll solve it by myself, and then I'll prove that I'm the one who's fit to succeed the Yoshirimiya family. Oh god, Robot, you're right.
I'll take that challenge. I will solve the riddle.
Whew.
And we're done for today.
And we're done for now.
Also, for those wondering what Khan was talking about, Roboot said young Eva looks like a Tsukihime character.
Which she really
No,
does.
she straight up doesn't. What are you guys talking about?
No, straight up she does, though.
Okay, give us an example.
I don't know what a Tsukihime character looks like, I
True
forget.
Devils.
It's,
Are you talking about the sister from Tsukihime?
Yeah?
I mean, like, mildly.
Oh Jesus Christ, we're at 43 hours already. I mean, actually,
Yeah,
that's
it
like
kinda went
missing.
long.
That's like missing a good chunk of time too, because of the fucking the shit skip. Actually, I think it was like 9 hours, so we're over 50 hours now.
Yeah, we're
Man,
checking
we
through.
are cruising through this way faster than Higurashi. Mainly because less bits, but yeah.
So I will
We
say,
were laughing at 1/4 of that.
I will say for the viewers at home, hey, it appears that we're going to enter into our little discussion segment, which, by the way, after I'm done with this little thing, you'll have 30 minutes to talk about stuff.
Perfect.
Relevant to the episode. Now then, hey, if you're new and you like what you saw, hey, consider following us. We'd really appreciate it. Special thanks again to Dirk for following us. That was pretty cool. We're incredibly close to reaching our 50 follower goal, which is pretty nice. And you know, keep doing this. I won't have to keep shilling, and I really appreciate it.
Because it's really getting depressing.
Really is. So hey, if you want to go check on me on YouTube, I have all of our VODs there, and there's also, you know, the Twitch channel. Don't go to my Twitter, because there's Umineko spoilers there, unless you don't care about that, in which case, please go to my Twitter. I'm hilarious.
He's only kind of
That
hilarious.
you know of.
Hey, come on. Hey.
I'm the.
Come
Hey,
on.
people come here for me.
No.
Me.
It's for everyone here.
I think everybody knows who they come to
They
the
come here
streams for.
Roxy, right? Did you enjoy the Umineko stream?
I'm pretty sure nobody would come for me. My voice
Oh,
is
you're
way
the
too
only
flat.
one.
Don, you are the
everyone
mascot.
I don't want to be a mascot.
The Scrimblow, if you will.
Yeah, she would
I
be the
can't believe
Scrimblow.
Kaneko is a Scrimblow.
Not a Scrimblow.
At any rate. Alright.
Scrimblow, you're hot.
Soon as I start playing Melody. Hold on a second. As soon as I start playing Melody, you guys will have 30 minutes, not 30 seconds.
Also, consider joining our Discord.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, so, Khan, you started off.
Alright then.
think the best thing to go ahead and say is we started off with all of this with a really huge red flag, if I do say so myself. Like, let's all be friends to each other and let's all just continue and promise to be friends. That is the biggest red flag I have ever seen in any kind of thing.
Yeah, red flag in what way? Red flag in what way?
Normally, those kinds of things said before are usually followed by imminent disaster.
True.
I mean, we know that imminent disaster is ahead.
It's probably going to be backstabbing.
It's also like in any other manga or anime or story. Oh, we're going to be best friends forever, or I'm going to marry you and we're going to have a wonderful family. And then the next instant, you're just offed, or somebody dies, or...
Or there's some major drama or backstab.
Or they have a falling out. We already know that's probably going to happen.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
But it's just a huge fucking red flag.
Wait, hold on. Are you telling me people die in Umineko?
Are you
Man, bro, that's crazy.
I knew you would do that.
Okay, that's pretty good. God damn it!
Oh, except
I think Beatrice is now seriously just gonna become a thing, isn't it?
Wait, what?
You should probably talk about your theories.
Oh. Alright.
We're on a time limit here.
So, introduction of... Remus! No! Introduction of Ronobe. This actually does coincide with my other theory I had about other servants being available. What I didn't expect was that it would be another servant of Beatrice.
Wait, didn't I come up with that theory?
I thought we both... Wait, didn't we both come up with that?
You both agreed on the theory.
I thought it was like, oh yeah, since we know about the Okanogi thing, there's probably gonna be more servants.
Mm-hmm. And Beatrice said there would be more coming in. This also matches along with that casting sheet that Orange gave us. Or at least he had on here that was graciously pinned. Thank you for that, by the way.
It's also spoiler-free.
Well, yeah. And also, Ronobe seems like a very interesting character. And I do have information on the 72 Lords of Hell.
Yeah, I provided the information on that one, actually. It was in the Life General.
Mm-hmm. Of course. In demonology, Ronobe is known as a Marquis and a Great Earl of Hell. Mostly 20 legions of demons, blah blah blah. Usually has a staff. Remus, shut up.
Oh, is this the Ars Goetia you're talking about?
What?
You know, all those demons of hell. I think it's called the Ars Goetia.
I thought it was Goetia.
There's another. That's a different thing. She's talking about the Solomon Key thing.
Tomato.
I'm talking about Ronobe as he stands.
No, Ars Goetia is a collection of demons. Or, you know... Hold on, let me find it.
Wait, you mean in the Dantalion?
Anyways, what about Ronobe?
What about Ronobe?
He was also one that was known to greet humans. Mostly those into the land of the dead. He mostly harvests the souls of decrepit humans and animals near death.
Huh, interesting.
Meaning, and if he is a Marquis and a Great Earl of Hell, then he does... Thank you very much. It does mean that he holds a high semblance of power. But does this also bear the question, does Beatrice hold enough power to be even more powerful than what could be considered a Lord of Hell?
It depends. He's actually a real demon, while the stakes are not necessarily real demons, but maybe manifestation of her powers.
Artificial.
Yeah.
So, this actually brings into mind something else I had to ask. He also mentioned that Beatrice brought him into a contract, the same way that Kenzo also brought Beatrice into one. Does this mean that alliances are conducted through contracts? And if so, do those contracts need bearing terms and specifics in order for those things to actually happen and be well done between the party who's signing and the one who's being forced to sign?
So
do I need to rephrase that, or?
Yeah,
no,
I know what you
got
mean.
it.
It's like a Hunter x Hunter by adding powers by adding limitations to your self.
I guess
men.
that makes sense. Still find it interesting that Beatrice brought down one of the 72 Lords of Hell just to be a servant to her, and a butler no less.
To be fair, that one was always going to be a butler because of how that demon is.
It still feels like she's dragging him down. Same way that she did Battler, so his comments to Battler make a lot more sense. He's a demon of hell, and yet he's a Grand Earl of Hell, and yet he's being forced to be some woman's handservant.
True.
Some rhythm.
Kinda gives me off Black Butler 5, but less yaoi. By a smidge.
Crimson, there's literally mountains of yaoi.
You said by a smidge. And I'll be real, Black Butler is very gay.
On that note, he said something interesting. He called Beatrice a vulgar human. Does this mean at some point Beatrice was human?
Most likely.
I mean, we saw her as a child.
More or less, yeah.
Was that even her, though?
We probably saw her as a child.
Given the memory and everything else, it probably was her. So, if that is her memory, and that is another Beatrice, then we can safely assume that Beatrice was at one point human. But now she's been tainted and become immortal.
What do you mean by tainted?
She became an earthbound demon, not a non-born demon.
Not demon, per se.
More or less.
She's literally gone crazy from isolation. She even said it herself in this chapter. She's had no one to talk to and no one to be able to do anything for it for about 30 years on the island. Which is an important note here. Luckily for us, most of the events that have happened right now are the same ones that happened in Chapter 1. The only difference being we didn't see an abuse scene with Rosa. And they didn't have dessert. Instead, they actually talked more about something that even I'm growing concerned and curious about. They mentioned a second or hidden mansion. Think about it, Brokenjima actually is far larger than you'd anticipate. But who's to say that the only items we've actually seen so far are just the mansion and the gardening area? We didn't know a church existed until it appeared last chapter, remember?
Yeah,
that was
Brokenjima is
weird.
huge with a massive forest and everything. Anything could be in there.
Exactly.
It could even be a small house, too.
Mm-hmm. And who's to say that the small house we've been seeing at the cover of this chapter isn't somewhere in the forest?
I don't think so, but it could be possible.
And it could be, this is just speculation. I also have to say, it probably wouldn't look like that anymore. The house we kept seeing was fairly immaculate, beautiful. Meaning after all this time, it's probably fallen in a state of disarray and decay. Falling rocks, covered in ivy. It would be impossible
Animals.
to go ahead and view it if it was actually some kind of beautiful house like that.
So you're saying there might be a possibility we're going to see a haunted mansion or a house in the future?
Ruined would be the better term, I suppose. The only way it would be haunted is if it would have bad memories for anyone else who stepped foot there.
Or dead people.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that mansion we saw, like Beatrice's original home, do you think that that place is like anyway related to Brokenjima?
I think so, yes. No.
Wait, no, that's in Japan. Well, actually, do you think maybe the Brokenjima mansion is modeled after it? I don't remember how similar they looked.
They look completely different.
Oh, okay, then never mind.
There was one other thing. If Kinzo did go to all of this trouble, and he did make a second home on there, then why go to that length?
Kinzo seems like the type of motherfucker that just loves complexity.
Yeah, and he's very secretive, even to his own family. He literally built a house with inside a house. No normal person would do that unless they're insane.
That is true.
Wait, a house inside a house?
His room.
Yeah.
The study.
Oh.
Yeah, his apartment was inside the mansion. Literally, it's self-contained.
No. But then a few other pieces started to fall into place. Kraus said that he made the mansion and got his family moved there from Idawadodai back about 30 years ago. That was when Kinzo was at the height of his success and his business. Correct?
Yeah.
Huh.
Follow me on this. 30 years ago. That would also have been whenever people would have said that the rumors started about him having a mistress on the island and he would visit there from time to time. Take a look at how Kinzo's been talking in the past few chapters. I've made a mistake. You are mine. I won't let you escape again. Beatrice said she waited 30 years for something to go ahead and break her of her silence. The way I'm seeing it is like this. Kinzo probably had an affluent relationship with one of the Beatrice. Then something happened prior, 30 years prior, and Beatrice escaped his clutches, but she was somehow not able to leave Rakenjima, even in spirit.
That's probably a good idea of what happened, why she's so resentful.
And thus she spent 30 years in what could only be concluded as a silent house arrest.
Are you implying
Stuck in a spiritual limbo.
Okay, never mind. You just answered my question for me.
Yep. And only now can she actually get out of there since the mirror is destroyed.
I mean, granted, we don't know what the mirror actually does, so...
It's true, we don't.
Although the one in Natsu's room sure gave Shannon a nice boost, I think.
It really did.
Oh wait, was that the mirror? I thought she just had that power.
George was trying to look for the mirror when that scene happened, so the power was not a part of the mirror.
Oh. Well, I'm dumb.
And, as I say, in fact, like, explicitly, the reason why Shannon and George died in episode 2 was like, oh, George was like, oh shit, the mirror wasn't in here.
It would also make sense. Kinzo would have had to spread that story about there being a separate witch or something in the forest to keep his kids and his wife away from something like that. However, I don't think anybody would have been in that place for at least 30 years because of it. It would have stood empty, because Beatrice would no longer have existed, quote-unquote. Which means that house would only serve as a terrible reminder of his mistakes. Anyone else thinking the same thing?
Yeah, me too.
Maybe.
What say you, Bone?
Yeah, I'm just following along.
Alright.
Trying to the best of my capability.
Oh, hey, also, on the topic of the Ars Goetia, shout out to my boy Barbatos.
Okay. Oh, yeah, okay, Barbatos.
Anyway.
So while the idea that Kinzo would frequently disappear to see his mistress in the woods for 30 years seems valid, I agree with Kyrie. It would have cost too much and it would have been way too noticeable to see some of his spending habits for that place.
And surely... Oh, sorry.
No, go on.
And surely the Ashir mirrors have some sort of receipt, right? Or they have receipts for that kind of stuff, right?
It would have been 30 years. So of course they would have had receipts for that stuff. And it would have been noticed on statements and everything else. The fact that there was nothing spent on it means that Kinzo probably left the house to rot and decay, or was already in ruins by the time that he moved his family up to there with the other mansion completed. Maybe my birdcage theory was right, that Beatrice was kept like a bird in a cage.
And it's only now that she's getting stronger she's trying to get out.
Well, it's only now that she can get out, but she wants to have a little fun with the person who put her behind those bars in the first place.
Doing a little trolling.
I mean, we've seen how she acts around Kinzo, and she doesn't seem to harbor particular ill will toward him.
Yeah, she's not really contemptful of him.
In fact, it's kind of like a sad, whatever, pity for that poor, sad
Pitiful.
old man. Pitiful, I meant.
Sort of like pity. But she didn't have any problem leaving Kinzo behind to be devoured by all those other witches in the afterworld.
I think those were just goats.
Yeah, those were just, we in Echo, we saw in the biographies that they're just labeled as goats. Like, it straight up just said, like, a witch took off the hat and it was Burncastle.
It said that they were wearing goat masks, though.
Burncastle was wearing a goat mask, I'm
Well,
pretty
there
sure.
probably were other witches, but they probably weren't important enough to mention.
I seriously doubt it. They acted very goat-like.
Anyway, get back to the conversation about the house and the family fighting over if there's a house there.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, everyone is basically poor as hell.
Exactly. And it's even literally confirmed here, Kraus was embezzling personal funds from Kinzo. So Kraus also confirmed scumbag.
Yeah, I mentioned this before in the chat. You can be property rich, but be fucking very poor.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah, that's accounting for you.
I mean, to quote episode 1, they need a lot of money right now.
They need cash now.
Which means if GBA's original theory about Beatrice knowing the answer to the gold and possibly offering it to them as a bribe, or at least as a trade, does hold some water. But this is Beatrice, and she's contractually obliged to go ahead and do this riddle with Kinzo.
I mentioned this in the notes, but I do wonder if, like, that part with them all in the church has to do, like, saying, yeah, we accept you as Beatrice, and it's like, is that them renouncing the name for the gold?
No, I think that was... Actually, that could be a possibility. I
You
just
have
assumed
6 minutes to wrap up discussion. You have 5 minutes to wrap up discussion.
Wait, what? No, let's give them a little bit of time. That's like way too... Like,
You
let's
have
give them like 2 more
15 minutes to wrap up.
Yeah, give them 15 minutes, yeah. Come on.
Jeez, that was fun.
That was terrifying. And way too
Keep
fucking
going.
Okay. And to be honest, I merely assumed that was just Beatrice showing off her skills of alchemy and showing that, hey, I am a witch, please recognize me. Because then they all recognized that she was the witch. But yours makes sense and actually does sound pretty cool now that I think about it.
It seemed very formal, how they were talking.
Mm-hmm.
And how she got more powers in that particular episode.
AC, you're kind of hot mic in there. Okay,
AC?
now you're good.
Okay, so they're basically poor in the
Okay,
same
so
sense.
here I'm going to ask this because I'm going to start asking this because I believe that I believe last time I had asked, you know, because Bone wasn't here, a non-magic theory. I would like to ask if Bone had any non-magical theories for this session.
Have we seen that's been magical so far? Have we seen anything that's been magical?
The lightning to the ring.
Only if you count perfect timing of lightning and a woman mysteriously materializing to give someone an umbrella.
I mean, she could have just appeared out of, like, the darkness.
Wait! That was the other thing! Ugh,
Yes?
Well,
the magic that they used. Beatrice accordingly said that she was golden and she wanted to earn the title of Endless. Endless magic, according to her, is any magic that can create or recreate the life of something that's been lost.
So what does she want to bring back?
It doesn't matter what she does, it's the tier she wants to reach.
I thought she reached the end. I thought she was endless.
No, she's known as Beatrice the Golden, not Beatrice the Endless. She could be using this time on Rakengimon and these events as a way to declare her new title of the Endless Witch.
Or
at least it's something she wants to declare.
Wait, wasn't
Alright, I'm gonna
Burncastle
squash this right now because this has been stated in the thing. She has stated that she is the Endless and the Golden Witch. You can have more than one title.
Okay, I knew that.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay.
Yeah, because she's brought back Battler multiple times.
Yeah, mea culpa, my bad. Also, the fact that Maria, at this point, can already utilize endless magic, that is terrifying.
No, wait, I thought it was that she vaguely...
Hey, Kirito, GGWWPP, thank you very much for following. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you, Kirito.
Thank you, Kirito.
Thank you.
But, I thought that it was that she brought back
Thanks
like
for
kind
that
of
follow.
a vague memory of the rose, and then Beatrice solidified the rose.
Yeah, because she can only do that one thing that was mentioned before.
Hold on a second. Hold on. I thought it was Beatrice letting Maria borrow that power for like 5 seconds.
Are we allowed to? Are we able to get a help here of what happened?
I will only tell you things you already know.
I mean, what did we see? I forget like what we saw there.
Oh, what you saw and what was described to you, very specifically, was that it was implied that Maria was using no magic in that scenario. It was simply Beatrice performing the miracles and was basically, quote-unquote, guiding her along, so to speak.
Like baby's first steps, but not really.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, we didn't really see her use endless
Alright,
magic.
then. I revoke that.
Damn! Now I'm the one focusing.
Anything else? Is there any other points of magic that you can contradict through facts and logic?
Maybe except for the demon guy, but that's like a different thing.
Are you saying that's a devil's proof?
Yeah. Was he really there, or was he not there?
I'd like to think somehow he actually was, because even the other battler was made aware of his existence. But then again, that falls back into the spiritual speculation.
Right, the other
Of course, I'm in the belief that magic is prevalent here.
I'd say it's like a mixture of it being there and not being there.
Anyway, any other stuff?
Bone, did you not want to say anything after?
Oh wait, did I miss something?
I asked if you had any non-magical theories.
Okay, so again, what was the stuff that we saw? So we saw like the rose and all that stuff. Like,
The rose and stuff.
Oh, I mean, Maria closed her eyes. Maybe Beatrice just swapped out the rose. Like, yeah, it's magic. Yeah, totally.
So I'll admit I was gone for a bit of this. Did you guys talk about Ronave at all?
Only a little bit.
Only
I also will admit, I'm not surprised that people tend to ship him with Battler. He's pretty forward.
I want his mustache gone.
Fuck you! How dare you? His mustache.
He
should be
has a
visible.
similar
But that being
mustache to
stated,
the other guy.
that being stated, to get us back on topic, guys. We don't have much time. Get back on topic. Hey,
Look, minor one-off note here, dude. He has a pencil-thin mustache, and it may look good for him. Sure it does. But on any other character, it would make them look like a pedophile.
so Bone.
I mean, like,
What do you think of Ronave?
Ronave, I guess he's cool.
No, I mean from the mystery standpoint.
Maybe he's real, maybe he's not. Maybe he's just some dude that's shown up. Maybe he's working for Beatrice. Don't know much about him yet.
What?
Alright.
There wasn't that much in the episode except for the speculation of if there was a house in the woods. And Beatrice saying, I have a butler.
Alright then, I guess maybe we should call it there.
Is there anything else, John?
No, that's everything I wanted to discuss.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's pretty much it.
Alrighty then, in that case, we're done here. Thank you to the two people who followed us.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciated. Tune in next time for, I guess, Friday. Unless we don't have anything going on, because something might happen. I don't know.
Pizza me.
Or depending on how things go, I might just play something else on Friday. Yeah.
Mhm.
Alright. Good
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.